Welcome to Highmark Stadium on this June evening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on the banks of the Monongahela River. The site is Highmark Stadium, and the stakes are high for this fourth round U.S. Open Cup tie between the hometown Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the visiting D.C. United. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching however you may be accessing tonight's YouTube broadcast. We appreciate that, especially our friends here on Riverhounds.com and all the D.C. United supporters checking in from afar. It's going to be a full house. It's a gold out here in Pittsburgh, PA. A huge night for soccer in the area. I'm Matt Geica, bringing you the play-by-play. My analyst this evening will be Paul Child and Gene Klein. Before that, though, let's go to the visiting lineup announced by our in-house PA.
On the fence, number 34, Luke Bishu. At midfield, number 17, Miguel Aguilar.
Sorry, I talked over that a little bit.
At midfield, number 25, Jared Jeffrey. At midfield, number 30, Connor Zoyle. At forward, number 11, Luis Silva. At forward, number 21, Facundo Correa. And at forward, number 19, Hiro Arietta. DC United is coached by Ben Olsen. Now, would you please rise and, gentlemen, remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem. The anthem will be sung by Victoria Van Horenbeck.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang lower, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, Victoria. And now, the starting lineup for your Pittsburgh Riverhounds. In goal, number 30, Callie Brown. On defense, number 19, Lee Hunt. On defense, number 21, Hiro Okioma. On defense, number 3, Anthony Arena. On defense, number 17, Sterling Thunder. At midfield, number 10, Kevin Kerr. At midfield, number 7, Stephen Okai. At midfield, number 16, your captain, Danny O's. At midfield, number 6, Robinson. At forward, number 9, Miro Cabrillo. And at forward, number 8, Mike Green. The Riverhounds are coached by Mark Steffens.
Ready for the kickoff from Highmark Stadium. Once again, Matt Geico with Paul Child and Gene Klein. And Paul, I'll start with you this evening. Got to be the biggest night for soccer at Highmark Stadium ever, and maybe for Pittsburgh soccer ever.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. You can hear it. I mean, you can feel it starting to shake up here. Hopefully the Riverhounds get a quick goal, Matt, and we'll see this place really shake. But no, fantastic night, great atmosphere, great conditions, and what a great opportunity for the Riverhound players to play against an MLS team in the Open Cup, and looking forward to a great game. Hopefully it will be.
A chance to show their stuff against a team from the highest league in America and also one of the name brand teams in MLS. Gene Klein, what do you anticipate to be the approach here at the start? There's going to be adrenaline for sure. How do you manage that as a player and as a coach, really?
Well, I think Mark Steffens will emphasize to them they want to be safe in the back first and sort of get a feel of this at least the first 10 minutes or so. Take care of the ball. Don't be careless with it. And, you know, if there's any indecision, make sure they get into an area away from goal. And we're going to see a lot of diagonal balls and switch to plays like that. And you can see right away Kevin Kerr having some impact by throwing that thing into the box.
Kerr to Okai stepping up. Willie Hunt, look at the Hounds pressing up, and a foul committed by Hunt, the first one of this contest in the opening minute. So the Hounds coming out aggressively, a very stringent high press, and trying to force a turnover, nearly did in that spot.
Yeah, and it looks like the Hounds, Paul, the Hounds coming out in a 4-4-2, which is a little, they've been in 4-3-3 all year, perhaps to match up a little bit better with United, maybe to do a little bit more pressing. We see Mike Green, who's certainly been the jack of all trades throughout the season, up top with Miro Trebrillo.
Yeah, that's a little bit different setup as well, and as you can see, I think you can feel the adrenaline going here, and look at the Hounds. They're really putting some pressure straight away on the DC United defense.
Vincent Green, back to Vincent, USL's leading scorer. He's got 11 total, all competitions included, and a couple here in U.S. Open Cup. In fact, it was his stoppage time strike against Tampa Bay last month that set up this meeting, the first ever visit by an MLS squad to Highmark Stadium, this jewel on the south side of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you're watching, you're seeing all the folks taking advantage of the standing room on the river side of the stadium. Rest assured there are plenty of seats on the near side where we are broadcasting from. As here is Vincent taking the ball at his powerful right foot, serves it across to Green. Okai touches it further. Kerr, and the ball was into touch, according to the assistant referee.
Yeah, this, as you can see there, Vincent, you're going to see that a lot tonight, it looks like. These long balls from the left side over to Kerr, who's playing out wide right, which they've been doing all season, and creating some great chances where Kerr gets it, goes down the line, gets some good crosses in, and hopefully Miro can get on the end of those.
Some interesting storylines tonight, one of which is between the six for the Hounds. Callie Brown, the rookie keeper out of the University of Virginia, was the most outstanding player at the College Cup. As we see getting a handle on this one, backup keeper for DC United, Andrew Dykstra, getting the start, lofts it down the near sideline. But Callie Brown, his second career pro appearance. He played against the Richmond Kickers in a 1-1 draw here last month. And in fact, with the Kickers affiliated with the DC United, 3 of the Kickers from that night are on the field this evening for DC. Luke Mishu, Jared Jeffrey, and also Jalen Robinson, as DC tries to win possession.
And Andrew Dykstra spent a year, I believe, with Richmond too, Matt. So he's played some goal for Richmond as part of their agreement with the Richmond Kickers and DC United.
Corner kick DC, and you're right there, Gene. Andrew Dykstra, former VCU star, was the 2013 USL Keeper of the Year with the Kickers.
Yeah, dangerous situation right here. You got to look for these set plays from DC. I'm sure they're very organized and.
Benton Brown missed it. It's loose on the line, and it's served off the post by Marcus Holste.
I think the goalkeeper there was fouled, and he was yelling at the referee there why that wasn't a foul called, and he was blocked out, and the referee never saw it apparently. So
well, we regardless dodged the bullet there, and
Brown handles this one with no incident.
Yeah, that ball hit the post and came back out, I think, and nobody knew really where it was.
What an opportunity for DC, and you can argue on the foul, but Callie Brown not able to flag down the initial corner kick, and it nearly led to an early strike for DC United. These Hounds have talked about the importance of taking advantage of this crowd and all the energy they're feeling right now playing against the big boys from MLS, and they nearly were victimized for a quick strike. Referee says play on, but the United give it right away to the Hounds, and it's Stephen Okai, the Ghanaian midfielder. Vincent to Miro Chabrillo. Plays it out wide, Kevin Kerr. 5 goals, 5 assists in USL play. Vincent lifting it up, and not far enough for Chabrillo to track down. Chabrillo very good through the air as the United will now build it up. Here's Connor Doyle.
Really like how the Riverhounds are coming out, Paul. They're coming out aggressive. They're coming out with the style of play they're accustomed to. They're not going to sit back. They're going to be assertive, aggressive, and go at them. And some good ball movement so far. Some very good possession.
It's really good to see, Gino, because, they've had a little tough road trip last week against Charlotte and came away with a loss. And this looks very impressive, the way they've got going here, and not letting DC get into a rhythm at all.
Mishu couldn't handle that on the near sideline.
Here's that replay.
Here's the corner.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, a little bit of a
hand in the air by one of the United players, Jalen Robinson, who played for the Kickers, as I mentioned, just here last month.
I think Callie Brown has to be a little bit better with that one, Paul. I mean, there's always going to be some pushing and shoving and jostling inside the 6 box, and you got to come out strong and clear that one off the line.
Especially when you're 6'5", Gino, too. That should be coming out there and just laying. It doesn't matter who's in front of you. You go out there and you win it. And even if you got to knock some bodies out, even if they're in front your own players.
Right.
So, got to see him a lot stronger than that on these crosses.
I would say some nerves coming into play for young Callie Brown.
Probably, yeah.
But yes, with that 6'5" height, he should be comfortable through the air. He did handle the second chance without any trouble. As we work our way to the 7th minute of action, the winner will move on to the round of 16. DC United won the U.S. Open Cup 2 years ago, lost to the Rochester Rhinos last year in this same round up in Western New York. Here's Anthony Arena knocking it out of trouble for Pittsburgh. Chabrillo, the header, behind Kevin Kerr, and Luke Mishu knocks it on back for the United to build up. Marcus Halsti, who missed that glorious chance in the opening minutes. Halsti, the native of Finland, 7-year veteran of the Swedish top league. Allsvenskan is the name of the top league there, and now playing for the United team. This team, DC, was on the field, gentlemen, in Orlando, the former USL side, Orlando City, on Sunday night. The first ever MLS match that allowed water breaks. It was that hot, that humid.
Wow.
So only one of the starters from that match is starting tonight. So for Ben Olsen, the 6-year coach of the United, getting some fresh legs in there.
Well, I think they have the depth of the squad to be able to do stuff. And we were just talking with Dave Casper, the general manager, earlier, and he said they feel their second team is very, very close, didn't he, Paul?
Yeah, he did. He was very comfortable with the team that he has out here, and as he was saying, they're looking to put the strongest team they possibly can. They want to win cups and trophies, and they've come here to play tonight. So it's a good test for the Riverhounds to test their skills and what level they're at.
Running on was Miguel Aguilar, the 21-year-old Mexican. This will be his 11th appearance of the season. The only player who started Sunday and is starting tonight is Yaro Arrieta. 5 goals on the season for DC in MLS play. So an impressive resume for the 32-year-old from Costa Rica. Corner kick number 2 for DC.
And a very international lineup for DC.
In the box, and it's knocked home. 1-0 lead for United on the doorstep. That one gave the Hounds trouble, much like the first one did. And cashing in, I believe, is Facundo Correa right there. Point blank range. He buries it.
I want to see this replay here. I don't know. It was a low ball.
It was a low ball flick across
Pardon me,
the
Luis
goal.
Silva, actually.
Yeah. And no one was there to pick it up. Watch, there's the flick. And back post, Willie Hunt can't get the header, and the guy gets in behind Rob Vincent. And
so it is Correa, by the way.
That is a nice gift for DC United right there for a player. You can't really miss that one, can you, Gino? He could have miskicked that and he would have still gone in the net.
Yeah.
But a good flick on, as you say. I missed the flick on, but the Kerr behind him kind of was ducking and it went over his head as well. So
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like we said, the Hounds came up really with a lot of energy, playing well, some terrific ball movement, and DC had 2 corners, and the Riverhounds dodged dodged a bull on the first one, and not that time, Paul.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Shabrilo knocks it up ahead, and heading it on his keeper is Kofi Opare. Opare, the University of Michigan grad, recently acquired by DC from the LA Galaxy. This is his 14th appearance this season, so he's a regular for the United. Just didn't start the match down in Orlando.
I think a lot of these guys have a lot of game experience, Matt. I know you have some of the stats there, but it's not like these guys it's the first time out on the pitch this season. So there's guys who can play, and
as Kelly Brown comes out to scoop it up.
The difference, I think, with DC, these guys are looking for more time, right? and the Hounds players want to show that they can play at that level.
Yeah, exactly. They want to show their coach that they should be playing every week and not just in these specialty games where the teams had tough road trips. So, yeah, you're going to see some guys trying to impress here, definitely, from DC United.
DC United 3-time U.S. Open Cup champs. Open man is Shabrilo, but he's offside as he misses the strike to the left of the goal. Rob Vincent set him up, but all for naught. That was Luis Silva who had the flick-on header. 11 goals last year for United. He's appeared in 10 MLS games for DC, but he's only started 1. Fifth-year MLS player, 26-year-old Luis Silva, getting the assist on the Facundo Coria easy strike from 2 yards out. So United up 1-0, and the Hounds having to push back.
You got to feel on that goal too, Paul, that Benny Olsen drew that up in the training ground, because that was a well-orchestrated play, well-rehearsed. I mean, very low-driven ball, like you said, excellent flick, and, 2 guys are flying into the back post.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it was really well orchestrated, and they capitalized on it well, and got them credit there, but Hounds got to keep it up, Gino, keep this pressure, and I think we may get a couple of mistakes here by the DC players, and hopefully can capitalize on them.
Well, I think one of the things that we have, all 3 of us have seen so much is, unfortunately, the Hounds have conceded early goals throughout the season, but there's plenty of firepower out there to bring them back into the game.
Yep.
For those of you watching the Riverhounds for the first time, they lead USL in goals per game, and really it's not close. One of 2 teams north of 2 goals for per outing. They average 2.25, even though they got just the 1 at Charlotte off the foot of Lebo Moloto, and that's the story, guys. Moloto is injured. He has a hamstring strain, and he had been coming into his own for the Hounds in recent games. 3 goals, 4 assists this season in all competitions.
Yeah,
no Moloto tonight.
That's a real shame, Matt, because he struggled early. He went through some difficult times, we felt, and then all of a sudden he hit a spark, and it was really, I think, started with some of these earlier Open Cup games.
Yeah, it was, and he had a good game in that Richmond game and scored a goal, and it really turned him around. I think he got, then he started getting assists and creating chances. It would have been good to see him tonight out here with these guys too. So a shame about that, but the Hounds have got to just put up with it and do the best they can.
As they move on here, United, in fact, also a bit of a second half team like the Riverhounds are. Both teams have outscored their opponents after the halftime whistle, but here we are in the first half, and United has a down payment on it. United lost 2 in a row coming into this one. Still at the top of the Eastern Conference in MLS with a record of 8-5-4. The Riverhounds in league action 4-4-4. Just seeing a 6-game unbeaten streak go by the wayside. Kerr running on. Oh, he nearly took that away from Luke Michaud, but it trundles out for the goal kick, DC.
Yeah, Kerr a little bit there. He was he knew the player couldn't really see him. He was hiding, foxing him behind him, and he chose the inside, and I think if it chose the outside, he might have got that ball, but started to make the defender think a little bit.
And listen to that Steel Army in full throat and full turnout. That entire section, supporter section behind the goal is filled, and everyone's got gold on, it appears, like the Hounds encourage their fans to show up with tonight. The Hounds are in gold, DC United in black. offside Mike Green just ahead of that second to last defender.
Yeah, Mike Green there standing the wrong side of the defender when the ball was played in, and couldn't get away with that one. He's got to watch where he's standing just to make sure he's at least in line and the right side of the ball.
Very, very impressed with the continuity, though, of DC's back line and how they have been moving together, and both north, south, east, west. You know, they're sliding, they're staying connected, and they stepped up very well there on Mike Green.
Oh yeah, this
Kevin
is not
Kerr
a good
went for a
situation here. It's a free kick again, and they're going to hit a ball straight into the box. And this is where we need the keeper to be strong, Gino, and come out and demand there, and maybe win this one if he can, if the ball's in the right area for him.
Big guy like Callie Brown has to dominate here.
Silva takes it, low bender, and served out of danger momentarily. Running onto it now is Chibrillo, overtaking Connor Doyle, and Rob Vincent cleans up the rest. Mike Green with a beautiful collection airborne, but he couldn't maintain possession. DC serves it out for the Pittsburgh throw.
A lot better there, Gino, and getting that ball out of there, out of danger. Got to be doing that a lot when they get a free kick or a dead ball situation.
Right, Silva's whipped in some very dangerous balls.
Earls to Kerr, trying to turn the corner. Crosses, but no one home. Jalen Robinson was the only man there, and he was wearing the Black United threads.
Yeah, just a little too strong on that cross from Kevin Kerr. He had Chibrillo, and I think Greeny were in, making some runs into the box, but just hit it a little bit too strong.
That's where we want.
Vincent, oh boy, he wanted to unload, and we've seen him from right around that area of the field strike, including one against Tampa Bay. Everyone in the building did.
I got excited there because we've seen him do it so many times, and he tried to pull the trigger, and the defender did well, actually. Got a good block on that and made it hard for him. But
Riverhounds coach Mark Steffens talked about the ability of this DC team to get back on the counterattack by the opposition and really box it in with that strong 8 when they play that 4-4-2 well, and they're a very structured side.
Yeah,
so that's why he didn't want to get behind, because then you have to try to build it up against that type of a team.
And they're very good. They have a lot of flair, a lot of very good, quick, talented players. Very technical. It's always been a DC United tradition.
Here is Fujiro Okiyama back in a back position, if you can pardon the repetition. He played up front against Charlotte and had a beautiful assist on Lebo Moloto's goal that gave the Hounds an edge.
they were offside this time. Free kick to the Riverhounds. It didn't go out of bounds, so referee called it offside. Linesman.
Yeah, it sounded like an early whistle, and it was.
It's good to see Fujiro back in there. I mean, we were really impressed with him early in the year, and then he struggled with a few nagging injuries. So it's good to see how he and Anthony Arena will pair up today.
Yep.
That was the central defense that the Riverhounds had planned coming into the season. As Okai tries to slide to break it up, he can't. Doyle knocks it over to Facundo Correa, the goal scorer, but couldn't make anything happen. And the Hounds Chibrillo in pursuit. Kofi Opare pings it back to his keeper Dykstra, who plays it up the far side. And on the run, Miguel Aguilar. Aguilar, number 17, stopping against the grain. Correa on through. Silva trying to flick it to Doyle. Doyle will turn and fire, and missing along the artificial surface here at Highmark Stadium. 18th minute, 1-0 DC.
Yeah, Doyle couldn't. He was unlucky there because he didn't really catch that ball very well. And you're going to see it here. He kind of overhit the ball, and instead of getting a good swing on it. But,
yeah, just caught that a little bit on the inside of his foot, and it seemed Callie Brown had that covered.
Couldn't get enough power.
Here's some power for Brown in that right foot. Chibrillo attempting to win it. Kerr stepping up, but taking care of that, Luke Michoud. All the way back in on Callie Brown. So Anthony Arena's back there to handle, and over for Danny Earls. This Hounds team, coached by Mark Steffens, in his 19th USL season. He's been the coach of the year before. He's won championships before. He's been to the finals several times in this league. Really as good as it gets at this level of soccer. Mark Steffens has brought a new level of ambition to the Riverhounds. There is an easy call against Jeffrey, who shrugs at the official, but looked fairly obvious from this vantage point, dragging down Kevin Kerr by the nape of his neck.
Yeah, the referee was 3 yards away, so if you missed that, that would have been a bad call. But yeah, he was pretty close to it, and trying to complain that he didn't do anything, but you could see him strangling him, pulling him, wrestling hold.
A corner kick goal by Facundo Correa has DC on top in this U.S. Open Cup battle. This is the first U.S. Open Cup match for DC United, like the rest of its MLS brethren, inserted into the bracket here in the fourth round. The Hounds have won twice against the West Virginia Chaos and the Tampa Bay Rowdies, 1-0 in that latter game. Danny Earls, usually very good with those spot kicks, but this time too strong, and Dykstra absorbs it. Off to Connor Doyle. Silva assessing his options. He'll flip one out wide. And here's Miguel Aguilar with the ball at his feet. Vincent pressuring. Vincent getting a foot on the lead pass from Jalen Robinson, but knocked out. Jalen Robinson, you might remember, was with the Arizona United last year. 19 appearances with the USL side and has been on loan to Richmond occasionally this season. But here he's in action with the big club.
Yeah, it goes to show you that there's a lot of opportunity for USL players to move. There's mobility in the league all the time. As Paul and I talked with Dave Casper, said they're always looking USL and other. They know there's a lot of good players out there, and there's good players in this league. So it's an opportunity for everyone to show that they can get maybe to another level.
Mike Green handles the throw. Green playing forward, as we alluded to. He's very versatile. Sterling Flunder receiving a start on the Riverhounds back line. He is the furthest back right now as the Riverhounds press up. Fajiro Okiyoma in the box. That throws over his head, but it's headed away from Miro Chabrillo by Kofi Opare. And so United can get back on the counterattack perhaps.
Yeah,
a little delayed here.
The Riverhounds looking for their big guy with a flick on and got sandwiched between two defenders there. Couldn't really get a touch on it, but same kind of setup that they scored their goal on. Nice flick on, and hopefully somebody's coming into the box and you can get on the end of it.
Yeah, Greeny, heck of a throw. I mean,
yeah, very good throw.
Yeah.
Was watching the Charlotte Independence feed, and of course Mark Steffens coached in Charlotte prior to coming to Pittsburgh, but last week the broadcasters there talking about how Steffens' teams like to use those deep throws as proxy corner kicks, if you will, making the defense work.
Well, if you have a guy that can heave it like that, you got to take advantage of it, no doubt about it.
And the Hounds have many times with Mike Green doing the job. Loose ball, and Fajiro Okiyoma actually got the foot to it last.
Yeah, a little bit rushed. I think he thought he was getting pressured and he had a little bit more time than he really had. So
Okiyoma, many seasons in Charlotte. There is a second ball on the field, by the way. And Mike Green boots it away in disdain as he couldn't win the one that was actually in play. Michoud with a second throw from a similar spot that he had just a moment ago. Facundo Correa, the 28-year-old Argentinian, he's the goal scorer. Couldn't knock it down. Willie Hunt will. Hunt, Okai in
that's
tight
a nice
quarters.
ball if they could get on, if Kerr can get
some backspin on that. It checks up on Opare. Kerr is fighting for it,
kick.
and the goal has been made. The PK has been won, and the Hounds will have an opportunity to tie this game.
Kerr did very, very well there. He saw that opportunity, had that ball. Like we talked, this is an AstroTurf field, Gino, and they're usually playing on DC, and it's a grass field. That bounced up perfectly. Kerr got his body in front of him, and the guy trying to clear it just wiped his feet from under him.
Yeah, Kerr kept going on that one, and he, like you said, the defender had no idea how to deal with it, and we have the league's leading goal scorer, Robbie Vincent, stepping up on this one.
The man from Liverpool, 8 goals in league play, 2 more in U.S. Open Cup. He knocked down a PK against St. Louis in the Riverhounds' previous home action in a 1-1 draw 10 days ago. Can he do it again? He'll face off against Andrew Dykstra. The Hounds, 2 for 3 on the PK this year. Kerr and Vincent have connected.
This goalkeeper's leaving it till the last second.
Stutter step. A drive and a score! If it bleeds, they can kill it. Rob Vincent has leveled this match at 1 in the 24th minute.
What a fantastic comeback, you know what I mean? But Definitely a penalty, Gino. No, and the building is shaking like I
Again.
said it would,
Yeah.
and the fans jumping up and down here, and our booth is rocking. It's like being in an earthquake, actually. But
This is almost a little scary. It's a minor tremor. You don't get these in this part of the country too often.
Yeah, I hope they screwed all the bolts down tight on this one. You know?
yeah,
Rob Vincent connects again. His third U.S. Open Cup goal. He's scored in every match in the Cup so far for the Hounds. They've won
Wow.
2 and looking for a big upset this evening.
It is amazing how Robbie just continues and continues and continues to be the man and score, especially because he's playing at a flank midfield. I know that was
Yeah.
a PK and all that, but it's still he finds ways to get in, he finds ways to score, and he's been automatic on this stuff.
yeah, his confidence as well. He's got to be rocketing. What's that? His 10th goal, Matt, this season, and
12, actually, if
12.
you count all competitions.
in all competitions, yeah. So he knows when he steps up there, and like we said before, when he got that one opportunity, he's winding up, and you heard me go, yeah, oh, I think, and he got blocked, but he's going to take a crack.
Yeah, and the way that player blocked it, you got to figure that Benny Olsen and his staff were telling their guys, if this guy gets in shooting range, you close
Gotta
him down
close him
immediately.
down. Definitely.
There is that man again, number 6 on the move as Mike Green tried to feed him, but to no avail there. Rob Vincent, this, counting all competitions, league and cup, this is his 14th match, 12 goals in 14 matches,
That's
and a foul
impressive.
call.
That's exceptional. It
Yeah.
really is. I was a goal scorer, and to do that would be fantastic. I think I had a couple of seasons doing that, but everything was just going right, and got to give Robbie credit because he works hard to get his goals, and he does such a great job at it too.
And he's lethal on these set pieces too, because we know he can whip some very dangerous services into the box.
Even from 40 yards out, bending and punched clear, two-fisted by Dykstra dramatically right in front of the Steel Army, still frothing at the mouth after that Vincent goal. And remember, the job by Kevin Kerr to win that PK, mark that down.
Yeah, you can
In your
give that
scorebooks.
as an assist. What do you think, Matt?
Corey hammering it over the crossbar. Yes, I would definitely say.
Big assess on Kerr on that one, and just some real. It shows his soccer IQ there, doesn't it, Paul? The way he played that. Seriously, the defender was fighting that ball a little bit, struggling with it, and Kerr found a way to get inside him
And get his
draw the
body in
PK.
the right place,
Yeah.
and got hit for it, and he paid off for him.
If you couldn't get in the building tonight, hard to blame you because tickets sold out in a hurry, but just look at all the folks standing around the perimeter of this field. You can see them on your broadcast screen right now.
Yeah, they're 2 and 3 deep over there on the fence on the two ends, and that's standing room only, and you can hear the Steel Army going crazy now, and they're going to just keep on as much as they can and both push this team on to another victory.
Absolutely electric atmosphere here at Highmark. It's a great thing to see.
So the Hounds have leveled it up after allowing what could have been a very deflating early goal and a flick-on header coming off the corner kick set up from the near side from our broadcast perspective. Vincent drills it against the grain against keeper Andrew Dykstra. And instructive to know that Rob Vincent isn't just a one-trick pony on the PK. He knocked it into the right corner against St. Louis
Twice.
10 days ago. Yes, because he had to kick it again after an encroachment infraction was called. And so he can put it in the corner, and he can also outguess the keeper, as we saw there, right down the middle, basically.
It took the wind out of the sails a little bit here at DC. Usually, as we always say, Gino, after a goal scored, the opposing team usually start coming really at you for the next 2 or 3 minutes, and you have to weather that storm. But you're seeing the Hounds knocking the ball around and keeping possession, still making it very difficult for the DC to get out of there.
No, I think the Hounds have really been re-energized with that.
Oh, here we
because-
go.
Chabrilo to Kerr. Chabrilo won the ball in the midfield initially to set all
great
this
turn.
up. The step back
Oh, what a
move from
good ball.
Kerr. And he plays it across the face of goal, but Chabrilo couldn't get over there in time to return the favor. It would have been a bit of an extended 1-2 play, but nearly worked out. Given away right to Rob Vincent. The
DC
Hounds enveloping DC right now.
Well, I think, Paul, it was starting to say that the Hounds have come back to that pace that they were earlier, and after
Hunt leveled with a forearm shiver.
after United scored, they dropped off a little bit, but now they've really picked it up, and yeah, Hunt got leveled there.
That's not a yellow card with an elbow to the face. Boy, oh boy.
It was up high and uncertain how much Hunt is trying to sell this one, but he is getting up, grabbing at his neck.
Yeah,
Hunt with a beautiful explosive move off the sideline there to draw that call, taking the initiative.
Here's another guy that's very dangerous on the serve. Danny Earls can whip that in with that left peg of his, and this will be.
I wonder if he's going to shoot
for
here,
Dykstra.
Gino.
He absolutely could. He's in range, Paul.
He's in range, definitely.
Dykstra with an eye on Earls' teammates. It's a low one, and it's off a DC head. The first corner kick of this match upcoming to the Hounds.
I like that one, Paul. I mean, they had a number of guys breaking on that, and if they get a little flick, that's the most difficult ball in the world for the keeper, because you can't really get to that one, and if they get ahead of it, you can't react to it.
No, it's a difficult one.
The anticipation building, a half an hour in. We are knotted at 1. Matt Geico, Paul Child, Gene Klein bringing you the action on Riverhounds.com.
Short one.
Pittsburgh plays it short. Vincent gets it right back from Stephen Okai. Vincent, the service toward the edge of the 6-yard box, actually closer to the penalty spot, but fended off expertly by United. But taking it away is
what a ball.
Okai to Green. Saved by Dykstra.
Oh, what a great opportunity that was. Oh, what a great ball and a great run there, Green. And we're going to see a replay.
Oh, boy, Mike Green still searching for that first goal this season. He has put a few in the back of the net in his Riverhounds tenure.
Yeah, great ball from Danny Earls. He just couldn't open his hips up enough, could he, Paul, to really get any power on
to get it around the keeper. The keeper was big and got himself big. He kind of hit him right in the middle of his chest. So, difficult to do, but great opportunity. That's what we've got to keep on doing.
Yeah, Dykstra played that very, very well. Held his ground and went down at the right time.
The 2013 USL Keeper of the Year, we told you, also helped the Charleston Battery to the 2012 USL title, playing 2 seasons in South Carolina, did Mr. Dykstra.
And the fans really getting into it here, Matt. I mean, they feel the opportunity here to get on the board again, and you can feel the energy in the crowd.
Getting on Yaro Arietta, who was in the head referee's face for a bit. Play continues on. Willie Hunt's 20-yard throw. It's off the skull of Miro Chabrillo, the former Robert Morris University standout in the Pittsburgh area. Grabbed on, though, by Luis Silva. Sends a checking ball across the middle of the field. It's
good stuff there.
Taken by the Hounds, and Okai, Green, Kerr, and Chabrillo.
Beautiful stuff. Great combination.
Chabrillo, a hopeful ball, a little too far. But Kerr gives him the thumbs up, though.
That attack started with Robbie Vincent really coming back and tucked in and played a great one-touch ball out of there, I think, to Okai. And it shows you how he's been scoring goals, but he is most definitely a two-way player, because he got back very, very well, was well connected there with Anthony Arena, and played that out perfectly.
He reads the situations well, though, Gino. He looks at the situation. If it's on field to go, he goes. It's perfect, He does really well.
Okioma drills it up the near touchline. Silva, nifty move to get away from the close watch of Kevin Kerr. Jeffrey, Silva.
Well read there.
Okai cut it off.
Yeah, very good job.
Green, Kerr sliding down, but it'll be easily taken by Kofi Opare. Opare, who earlier was fooled on that play that led to the PK and the tie score. You do see balls check up a little bit more on this artificial surface, kind of like what you might see at the U.S. Open Golf Tournament coming up this weekend. Some of that backspin or topspin can have more of an effect on a field like this.
And also wondering, too, they, after they had a concert here Sunday, and then they were out raking the field yesterday. So there's probably a lot more of the rubber stuff that's been coughed up because of that, and you wonder if the ball's laying up a little bit, a little bit differently. Yeah,
good point.
And like we say, DC probably practice on grass, and they play on a grass field at home. But some teams don't like it when they get on this stuff.
I wonder. I'm sure as organized as they are, they found some artificial surface somewhere,
No, definitely.
To get a training session in. I would guess. We don't know for sure.
Only one, though, because they've been on such a tight schedule and road trip.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't had a break yet.
No, they have not.
And playing on Sunday, yes, does not give them much of an opportunity to get recalibrated.
Yeah. And they got a tough game weekend coming up as well. DC, they play New England against who are 4 points behind them in the league. So
And that's this weekend coming up?
yeah, I think it is.
Okay, yeah, so that's a big battle there also.
Just all part of the story between these two clubs who have met once before. Dave Casper, one of the original executives for the Riverhounds, and now the GM, longtime GM of United. And United, one of the more decorated clubs in MLS. 4 MLS Cups, that's the postseason title. 4 Supporters Shields, that's the regular season championship, and the 3 U.S. Open Cups we told you about early on.
Yeah, they're no stranger to this.
No, and I mean the last time that a USL club made it to the Open Cup final was the Charleston Battery, where they were defeated by DC United. So
Willie Hunt in some trouble when he gave it away. An opportunity on the counterattack for DC. Doyle to the edge of the area. Silva. Hunt recovers to face him up. It's 1v1. Silva back into the middle of the box and nudging across to make the play. Okai actually stepping over.
Yeah, they got caught there 3 on 3 actually, and did well with that situation and slowed it all down, Gino, and did enough to push them out to a throw-in now. But this could be a dangerous situation again, with a long throw into the box.
Luke Mishu handles it. Hunt heads it away momentarily. Now Arena. All the way over to the far side it rolls. Vincent on the battle. Look at that slick play by Aguilar. Behind his back with the right foot. That was beautiful, but, well, I thought the Hounds had won the throw-in. However, it will go to United. 10 minutes approximately remaining in this opening half. We've seen plenty of action and plenty of emotion. The players, I'm sure, adrenalized accordingly from all of this. And it will be a challenge to shut her down for a few at the half, but still a long way to go until we get there. And they want another throw in here, right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, that's a long throw way up to the forward. Nice flick on there, and Arena just getting there before the other forward. But
read that beautifully to take it away from Coria.
Momentum shifting a little bit, Gino.
yeah, they're starting to pick up the tempo a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're
Physical play from Kerr.
Trebrillo.
Helped generate the turnover. Miro Trebrillo, big man headed downfield, but he's overtaken from behind by Mishu.
Oh,
my, Dykstra. A dangerous play. Fortunate to win the goal kick.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other thing, Robbie Vincent was streaking down that left flank, too.
Well,
I don't know if Miro saw him, but if he could have delivered a crossfield ball, Robbie Vincent would have been in on goal.
And that's the guy you wanted to get it to.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, he can't get caught with it there, Paul. Got to find a way to deliver something.
Instructive to see in the midfield to lead into that whole sequence heading in the direction of the DC goal. Kevin Kerr allowed to get away with a physical challenge there at midfield. So maybe something to file away in your back pocket if you're Pittsburgh in a big spot. Lean in a little bit more, perhaps, if the official's going to let you get away with it. Coria, some slick footwork in the corner, though. Flunder intercepted it. Sterling Flunder, who hasn't started a contest in a few weeks, coughed that one up. DC with an opportunity, but it would have been offside anyway. Arrieta just ahead of the Riverhounds' second to last defender.
Good to see the keeper there, though. Pretty sharp. Got out there really quick, Gino, and smothered that one up. But, yeah, he was offside anyway, but good to see him get out there. If it wouldn't have been offside or the linesman miscalled it, you got a chance.
But we see United getting in a little bit of rhythm there, Paul, and some pretty good movement off the ball with a lot of quick, short little stuff and controlling the tempo from that style, you know.
Yes.
And you know, some quick stuff, short, then a long, you know. But it's very, very quick stuff and good movement off the ball.
Yeah, they're definitely getting the rhythm back, and the Hounds have got to kind of like absorb that for a little while, and hopefully you'll start putting some pressure back on again.
You can really see the skill of some of these United players. Yes, reserves in MLS, but definitely big league caliber. Just some of the small plays they're making in tight quarters shows through. The Hounds are going to have to keep an extra eye and remember to help out their teammates when defending, because a 1v1 situation can turn into a break for United. But here's Mike Green seeking to generate something himself on the right flank.
Oh, great
Green
ball.
cross and off the foot
Boy.
of Marcus Halstead. Corner kick.
Oh, I thought, I don't know if Kerr was really close to getting a toe on that one, but Miro kind of like lost it for a minute. If he'd have just read that and ran into the near post, he'd have got on the end of it. He couldn't have missed.
Just a bit of hesitation on that post, and it goes for a corner. Vincent, low swinger. Okioma got the header down. And
Another corner kick.
I do believe, yes, one of the United got the foot to it, and the referee points to the near corner this time.
Boy, this would be a great opportunity again just to get this goal towards the end of the first half here. What a great...
Looks like Mike Green's taking this. I'm surprised Danny Earle's not hitting an in-swinger here.
Yeah, really.
You have to imagine Green's going to bend this one outward. And what will the Hounds try to do? Maybe I shouldn't assume that, as Hunt is giving him an option. Just about 10, 15 yards away. But Green's going to drill it with power. Kerr stubbed the shot. It's a set play. And we saw that, I believe, in the game against St. Louis, too, here, where the Hounds nearly generated a goal from that. But anyway, back come the United. And Aguilar has it
Willie Hunt did
tackled
well.
away by Willie Hunt.
Willie Hunt just
Beautiful,
ran
clean
about
play.
85 yards to get back there. He missed on the... He gave the ball away in front of their box, and then he got all the way back and did a great job on defending there against number 17.
I said the United. I should have said United. I know that DC supporters are particular about that. Throw into an open man from Mishu. The backheel flick from Doyle, and Okai covered that up, and he allows his keeper, Callie Brown, to scoop it and settle things down in the 41st minute.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. Calm down a little bit. Don't be in too much of a rush. Give the guys a breather. Let them get out and get repositioned here.
Yeah, I like this. Really like to see him build this out of the back a little bit, Shields. Even just
yeah, give it away right there by just this long ball.
Right back, because DC just drops off and collects that, and now they have the ball again. With a couple minutes left, roll it out. You got guys like Willie Hunt and Sterling Flunder who can.
Boy, he
Out comes a card.
He just gave him a yellow card. I don't know why he was so quick with the card here. But I think he caught the player's ankle, but
A yellow card has been
I don't know.
I don't know, man. He didn't.
I think he got caught in the turf with his shoe and everything.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
pretty of a harsh decision by the referee.
yeah, he wasn't sweeping him with that second leg. I mean, it looks like he actually tried to hold off on that.
We saw Hunt get chopped with an elbow down here that didn't get a card, but referees obviously sees it a different way.
He has set the standard for bookings now. Brown watches this one trickle out over the byline.
Yeah, again, calming things down a little bit and taking his time here. Can't blame him. DC all back, and hopefully he's going to try and hit Miro. He's gone to the side.
Looking too.
Again, he sends it near side. Chabrillo, again, always very good through the air. He's got a couple of goals this season, both via that technique. Hunt, I thought he was pushed down. The Hounds coaches want a call.
Referee.
Goalkeeper coach Jeroen Wolstra wants one in particular.
Very late on that one.
It won't happen, but the Riverhounds make it all moot by winning the 50-50 ball. Hunt,
there goes
a
Green.
deep one for
There's a
Green.
great chance.
Out comes the keeper Dykstra to take care of it. He's got to hustle back as Green gets it quickly, but now Mike Green wants to wait for his friends to join the party.
I think Mike Green's going to probably not take the throw-in, because he was taking a long throw-in, and doesn't look like they're going to do this time. They're just looking to find somebody to show for the ball. And
So
there's
it's
Miro.
Willie Hunt to the feet of Miro Chabrillo. The Hounds forward, lays it back to the defender Hunt. And now Chabrillo from Okai across the field as Chabrillo was cut down. Sterling Flunder, left-footed feed to Vincent. 1v1. Cutting back, and again, trying to find some space, and he lifted that one well too high of the goal cage.
Yeah, Robbie there. You can know what's going through his mind when he gets in the edge of the box, trying to create that one step on a player so he can get that rocket shot of his, and he's been doing it with either foot.
With the way he's been scoring, that's exactly what you want him thinking, man.
Yeah.
Don't think anything else. Try to find a way to finish it off.
The Riverhounds had a 4-0-2 streak going until their 2-1 loss at Charlotte. But they have been excellent here at home this season, 5-1-3 in all competitions, and the one loss to the league-leading Rochester Rhinos. And the Rhinos, Gene, you were talking about the last USL team to go to the final. The Rhinos were the last USL team to win US Open Cup in 1999.
Yes, that was a team that we saw a lot of back in the first year of the Riverhounds, Paul.
Oh yeah, and
that was a terrific Rochester team.
And they were playing at a baseball stadium that held 13,000 people, and there was a
one time, and right into the breadbasket of Dykstra on the hop, but it was Danny Earls avoiding pressure in the corner that helped create the space, led to all of that danger for DC.
Yeah, Rochester played the old Frontier Field baseball stadium, and what an atmosphere that was.
Yeah,
like you said, 13,000 every game.
It held 13,000, and I think they were getting like 18 or something like that by the time when they got right to the finals of the Open Cup.
Right.
A terrific soccer city, Rochester, New York. And the Hounds will be up there very soon to take on the league-leading Rhinos. Oh boy, the clear attempt by Okioma is blocked by his opposite number 21, Facundo Correa, the goal scorer. Correa couldn't power it through. Okioma. Beautiful play by the Hounds, number 21, the Austin, Texas native.
Made up for that mistake he made and letting that player get it.
Okioma adds that element of physicality that the Hounds haven't really had at the back line. A real specimen at 6'1", 190, and can move.
Yeah, had a tough start, didn't he? He was in and out, got injured a few times, then got out, then he had a hamstring pull again. Kind of like, be nice to see him back in full strength for most of the games now.
We're into first half injury time. 1 minute will be added approximately. Chabrillo got a little too fancy there, and as a result, United gathers it in.
Yeah, he's got to look up there. There was nobody even closing him down. He could have taken that ball on to wherever he wanted to go.
Doyle played it right through Kevin Kerr, just a yard away from an interception, but not to be. Correa chests it down and drives it with the left foot. That's off the leg of Okioma.
Yeah, we didn't want to give a corner away at this time, and we've been very weak on these, so hopefully we're going to be tight, pick up the main players, and not give any flick-ons to anybody.
The first two were very tough for the Hounds, nearly giving up a goal. In fact, a hit post, and then the strike from Correa off the flick from Silva. Here's the third one from the near side once again. And it comes. What a stop made by Mike Green.
Who's picking up these players, Gino?
Clears off the line.
Again, really well done from DC. If you watch, they had some movement, some guys going near post and then shifted around far. That guy gets right up over Robbie Vincent. And that's why you put a guy in a post, Paul Child.
Exactly, and it did work for sure. Yeah. It was good to see that. But, yeah, I didn't realize how he got over, got up way that high above Robbie Vincent, but did a good job to do that. Hands doing well to get it out.
As you might have guessed from the players heading off, they did not award the corner. They said that's it. Halftime has arrived, and with a dramatic moment, a clearance by Mike Green, and could have saved the day, could have saved the tournament for the Hounds. You never know. So, gentlemen, after 45 and change, we look at the first half highlights. And here is that early corner we were just talking about.
Oh, dear.
Marcus Halsey, the Finnish native, nearly cashing in, did not.
Great tackle from Kevin Kerr.
Chase him back, get him back. Here's this flick on.
There's the flick. That's the goal.
And
Far
everybody standing there watching. Yeah, you've got to stay with the runners. And
again,
it was
that
an
last
excellent
corner too. They, active on the far post.
Yep.
There was Vincent going up against Kofi Opare, who made the stop. Earls on one of the Riverhounds' several set pieces of the first half.
PK.
And there was Opare having some trouble with it.
Yeah.
Kerr jumping in, and Opare shielding him off illegally.
Curl doing so well to get his body
exactly
around him just
yeah.
in the right. The player really didn't know where he was, and he was still trying to kick the ball, and
Right.
he couldn't do much about it. But
Like you said, he's sort of fighting that ball a little bit as out laid up on the turf, and Kevin Kerr put himself right in position.
yeah, he should get
But
an
there's nothing
assist
he
for
can do
that.
about it. Yeah.
Steel Army in complete
Yep.
throes of ecstasy there after the Rob Vincent PK tied it up. There's Dykstra punching one clear. So the Riverhounds have had some success off the set pieces too.
This
This
was a
perhaps though
great-
the best chance from the run of play, as Green was denied by the sliding Dykstra, who looked quite good in the first half. Aguilar and Green, a physical confrontation. And there's, just before the half, the volley by Kerr.
That was a great opportunity too. If he'd have just got some more on that and put it into one of the corners, would have really give him some damage. But great first half, to be honest with you. I think very even. Both teams having great chances. Obviously, DC United looking dangerous on any corner kicks, dead ball situations where they can get the ball into the box. Gina.
Yeah, I think, again, very even, very entertaining. Both sides are a little bit hyped, I think, because of the crowd, and they're out to play well. I mean, and both sides want to move on. It's been very even. Both sides had a lot of good chances. I think for the Riverhounds, probably they want to maintain that pressure a little bit and continue to keep them under pressure and try to continue with that quick possessions, Paul, because that's been really when DC has struggled a little bit, when the movement is really good.
Yeah, and as you know, though, for 45 minutes, it's very hard to keep that up continuously.
Right.
Kind of like went through 10, 15 minutes of it. DC got back into it. They kind of had possession. We got it back again. Obviously, after the goals, it helps because you get a lot more excitement and more power in going forward. But they're very entertaining game.
I was just going to say that very word. I know we've been entertained. We hope you have been here on Riverhounds.com. Also, USsoccer.com if you're watching. A DC supporter, Pittsburgh supporter, just an interested observer. Thank you for tuning in this evening. I'm Matt Geica with Paul Child and Gene Klein. The players are taking a breather. We will do the same and bring it back in about 10 minutes for the second half. 45, not nearly enough to tell us who is going to advance further to the round of 16 in the U.S. Open Cup. We'll be right back from Pittsburgh, PA and Highmark Stadium after this break. There you see the halftime stats. Thank you to John Powell and the crew. Becky Schoenecker included there as well in the truck for giving us the beautiful visuals you see this evening. All the camera folks doing terrific work. As always, I'm Matt Geico with Paul Child and Gene Klein bringing you U.S. Open Cup action. 4th round, Pittsburgh and D.C. Riverhounds and United knotted up at 1. And gentlemen, the numbers that you see in front of you right there would indicate a pretty even matchup, wouldn't they?
Yes, it really does. We just walked in and saw that, and it was, boy, look how even that is. And actually, DC United having 3 saves where we've had 0, so we've been in their end causing some problems, it looks like, right, Gino?
Yeah, it's been very even, 3-3 on corners, 6-6 on shots, and I would say that's about what we thought. You know, at the end of the first half, it seemed very even. Both sides had some good opportunities, and Andrew Dykstra was supposed to. He had to come up big, not big, but he had to come up with 3 solid saves, I think, to keep the rounds off the. Out of the goal.
No, I'm looking forward really, Matt, here to you got 45 minutes. This is the exciting part of the game, you know, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Hounds come out. If they come out like they did in the first half, right from the get-go, they were putting pressure on DC all over the place and making it difficult for them to get out of there. We'll see what Mark has done at halftime, and if he's going to do that same situation.
Yeah, we'll also have to look out for any changes and see, of course, in the Open Cup, you're kind of limited with 3 substitutions, a little bit different from USL Pro League play. So it will. And I'm also curious to see if there's anything changed tactically, Paul. If the Hounds are going to stick with 4-4-2, if they're going to move anybody around a little bit, but it looks like they're going to pretty much keep it the way it is, and why change it? They did well.
Why? Yeah. Right, Matt?
As you see right now, the same 11 that we started the game with on the Riverhounds side are out there on the field. Different side of the field, of course, as we switch things up. The Riverhounds will head toward the Fort Pitt Bridge, and the DC United will attack the Steel Army side of the field, the east end at Highmark Stadium. I just had a moment before we really get into the meat of this second half to check out the scene in the stands, and boy, what a buzz in this facility. 3rd year for Highmark Stadium. That's really when this franchise rebooted itself and gave itself a presence here in downtown Pittsburgh, and really paying off tonight. This is the type of evening that Jason Cutney, who really got the ball rolling, Richard Nightingale, the new president, everyone involved with the Riverhounds had in mind when Highmark Stadium was first conceived. And here's a counterattack try for DC. Connor Doyle. Aguilar, edge of the 18 box. Knocked it on back. Correa. Sliding tackle by Kevin Kerr, at least forces the play out further, but then Kerr trucks over Facundo Correa, and the foul is whistled there. The Riverhounds out-fouled DC, if you will, in the first half, 7-4. Make that 8-4 here in the opening minute of the second half.
Yeah, a little bit too excited there, Gino, from Kerr. He just needed to keep just pushing the player back to where he came from instead of going in and committing a foul, because we know these guys are deadly on these crosses so far. Correa
on the set piece. Here's a high-in swinger, and Okioma got there. Still free in the Hounds box, and Okai had it for a moment. Watch out now. Callie Brown having to come out and take it away from the
offside. It was
waiting foot of Arrieta. Would have been offside anyway.
Yeah, she had a flag up, but the referee let it play on, and I thought he was a little bit close to it, but you never know.
That's all dependent on the center referee to make that call or let play continue on.
Quick
restart. Yes.
Well, I think the first half was a tale of different stretches of the game, wasn't it? It was the Hounds would had their 10 minutes or so, then it seems like it would shift back to DC, and so I'm curious as to how both sides will adapt in the second half, Paul.
Yeah, as you say, like we're switching back and forth. 10 minutes for them, 10 minutes for the Hounds, and obviously it's important for the Hounds to not give the ball away or make any silly mistakes.
It was just 17 days ago that the Hounds scored 6 second-half goals against the Harrisburg City Islanders to come back for a 6-5 win. They were down 3-0 at halftime. Offside there on Green's play to the flank. We're not expecting 6 goals from, well, both teams combined in this second half, but it may just take one more. to determine a winner this evening.
We've seen a lot of close games that were played last night in the U.S. Open Cup between the USL and MLS, and this is another tight one.
USL teams did not collect a victory. They were all eliminated, all 7 of them in action as Korea's shot goes begging. Last night, technically 0-5-2 because 2 of those went to PK shootouts where the MLS teams prevailed. 3 in total went to extra time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that just shows you what a good fight the USL teams did, and how these teams are getting stronger and stronger and competing with the MLS teams.
And tonight, Richmond and Charleston in the same boat as the Hounds hosting MLS teams. Here's
a nice
flick on header by Chabrillo. Kerr trying to make something happen, and the ball is off a United foot. Corner kick Pittsburgh, the first one after halftime.
Kerr was a little bit lucky there. I thought he really hit that player with his shoulder in a position, and he went down. Looked like it was a free kick, but the referee didn't see it that way.
That's the second time Kerr has been allowed to be physical in a one-on-one challenge.
And he's not a real big guy.
Maybe that plays to his advantage, though. It might. As here's Danny Earls swinging it in. Can the Hounds connect? Elevating for the header, but unable to knot it down was Okioma.
Yeah, Okioma there did really well. He was backpedaling and still got up in the air and got a little touch on it. Very unfortunate to not get that ball back on target.
Okioma, central defender, had the assist last week as a forward. Also a goal this season on a flick header situation after a set-piece play was put into action by the Hounds. That was early on this year.
Oh.
Vincent jumping up, but the aerial battle was won by Jeffrey. Jairo Arrieta keeps it in. Okioma cedes to Callie Brown. And Brown, who made just 1 save in the first half on the 6 DC shots. 1 got behind him, 1 was saved, and 1 was saved by Mike Green just at the stroke of halftime to keep this a level score. Luis Silva. Silva, who struck that corner kick that led to the Facundo Coria goal in the early going for United.
Oh, well done there. Nice ball down the line here would be good. Kerr.
Green, quick exchange to Kerr. Back to Green. Or pardon me, here's Kerr now. That was Willie Hunt stepping up into the attack. Mark Steffens loves to get one of his backs and one of his holding defenders upfield at most times. Oh, Vincent had it stripped away in a dangerous spot on the field. Good play by Jalen Robinson.
Yeah, Miro doing very well there with his chest, trying to get that ball over to Vincent for a shot on goal, and very close to doing that.
Yeah, one of the things that the Hounds, I think, have done very well so far to start this half, and at times in the first half, is they've had some really good entry passes, I think, to Miro and to Mike Green, Paul.
Deep ball.
And then
Loose ball there. Arrieta.
Yeah.
Seeking to take advantage of some confusion.
That second ball back, and then you have Kerr and Vincent flying, and if they're already in, we see Willie Hunt or Sterling Flunder coming up from the outside midfield. So the movement off the ball is good, but it starts with those little entry passes into their feet. You know?
little nice touches so they can get a touch on it and 1-2s and create some opportunities.
Okai. The leaping play. Vincent 1 foot inside the touchline, and he ends up having that ball go off him. Or pardon me, no, it was off a DC player. Last, Vincent looked away in disgust, I thought, but no, just trying to get upfield as Flunder's throw comes in. Okai. Quick twitch move to create some space away from Coria.
That's a nice ball if somebody can get to it.
Launches this one. Kerr back heel. But Doyle was there on the spot for DC. DC United first place in the Eastern Conference, but playing many reserve players this evening, hungry to see some action, and they are. They're in a real battle here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, great touch.
Running on and firing wide was Aguilar. He has his hands on his head. He tried to ease that one into the net, but he could not connect.
Yeah, he did all he needed to.
Yeah.
He did all the right moves except the final shot there,
really.
actually.
I mean, that first touch, they didn't show that one, but the first touch was really good, Paul, away from the defender. And this was a great shot of the atmosphere here at Highmark Stadium, and you see the capacity crowd.
Miguel Aguilar, the 21-year-old out of Mexico. 10 appearances in the MLS this season, 3 starts. Yet to find a goal, though, this year, and that drought continues on. Arena belts it off the foot of Arrieta. And it's the Finn, Marcus Halsti, cleaning it up for DC temporarily.
Taking no chances, just getting it out of bounds, out of danger. And Miro doing very well tonight, I think, Gino. He's doing very well, holding the ball up, taking it, laying it off for different players.
And then we can get that movement going, especially from the flanks. Or we also like to see Robbie Vincent and Kevin Kerr like to make those diagonals inside. So it's starting there, and it has to continue. I'm sure DC United knows that, and they're going to try to deny those passes.
Miro Chibrillo seemingly has gained strength this season and finding his role on this Hounds team. The Hounds use that center forward more of as a guy to hold things up for those flanking midfielders to run past and try to create some space. And Chibrillo has increasingly, as I said, gained an appreciation and an understanding of what exactly Mark Steffens wants him to do up there. Second-year player, second-year pro, signed on last June by the Riverhounds. Throw in DC. 55th minute, so 10 minutes into this second half. 1 for the Hounds, 1 for United. Jalen Robinson, the through ball to Jairo Arrieta. The cross, and Correa couldn't get a foot on it. That was Okiyama out-muscling him. Hounds try the quick counter. Kerr got it caught up in his feet, though, and that scuttles that whole maneuver. Luke Mishu.
Great run from Kevin Kerr again. Come from that flank inside to connect with that ball from Danny Earls, Paul.
Yeah, and that's what's very difficult when you're running straight ahead and a ball's hit to you straight from behind. You usually need to get a bit of an angle on it, and that's where he got kind of caught up. It hit him in the heel, and still nearly got away with it, but good movement.
Okai, leaping play, wins the ball.
That's
Stephen
a nice little
Okai,
pass.
return for Hunt. Can he catch up to it? He does. It's still in play, and a high bounce fielded by Andrew Dykstra.
Yeah, and Willie Hunt, right fullback, playing right fullback. He's getting back right now, slowly. He just made out one of those runs again, like 20 or 40 or 50 yards there, and slowly getting back. Oh, good job by Flounder reading that one.
Flounder took it away from Robinson.
Oh,
Vincent.
great move.
Great
Look at that
from Robbie
cutback.
Vincent.
Plenty of field to run in for Rob Vincent. The goal scorer in this game for the Hounds.
Now to
Plays it square to Kerr. On back for Vincent on the extended give and go. And Dykstra took something up high, and Vincent checks on him, but Dykstra absorbs it.
Yeah, great little turn there from Robbie Vincent to get away from 2 players. It just looks, he stood there looking at each other like, what the heck just happened? But then it was interesting, Paul, as he had some space and ran out the defenders. He really didn't have a lot of options. So who does he go out to? Kevin Kerr. Like he knows where he is. Those two
every time
have that connection every time.
Correa. Facundo Correa, the Argentinian, finds some room, deflected, and Brown able to grab it. I think Sterling Flunder may have saved a goal there with that tip.
Absolutely. I mean, Sterling did great to get a piece of that one and close that down because Correa had a great look at goal.
Correa has been excellent in this game. 4 appearances for the big club, or for, DC and MLS play. Offside. Jairo Arrieta, and he's saying that he was held up a bit, I believe. But he is not going to win this argument.
Yeah, Benny Olsen's down there. I don't think he's very happy with that one. I think the Riverhounds will put that one in their hip pocket and say thank you very much.
And Benny talking to the fans there, and I'm sure they're just saying to him, go sit down, get back there. And Benny just, he's heard that all his career, I'm sure, but...
Halsey handles this deep ball. Ben Olsen, fifth full year with DC United. He was the coach of the year in 2014. He was the youngest coach in MLS when taking over in 2010 midseason at 33 years old. Now 6 years down the road, the former MLS Cup MVP. Interesting tidbit here, he is the only player in the modern era of U.S. Open Cup to win it as a player and as a coach in 2013, heading up United. Kevin Kerr finding some room. Save! Dykstra!
Boy, what a shot and an opportunity.
Oh, man.
I thought that was sailing in the top right-hand corner, but
it was. I mean, here it is again. I mean,
coming at you here from our
great save from
crack
Dykstra.
crew.
I mean, does
athleticism for Dykstra.
Does Robbie Vincent ever shank one? It seems like every shot that he takes is right on frame.
Target.
You know,
yeah, on target.
He is lethal.
And Kerr and Vincent so many times hooking up this season, nearly another time. Here's Danny Earls, the Hounds captain. Chabrillo was feeling like he had an opportunity there, and the Hounds green played it back a little too quickly and over everyone's head, in fact. So goal kick DC.
Great opportunity. Matt, you mentioned Benny Olsen before. I mean, what a terrific player for DC United for many years. U.S. men's national team. I actually remember him as a youth player, where he played on a lot of youth teams and regional teams, and fantastic player. What a workhorse he was, man. And smart player, Paul. Just a terrific IQ, right?
If you ever wanted a player on your side, that was the player you wanted on your team, and he definitely was outstanding player for any team he played for, and especially the U.S. and was a great player in midfield. Excellent.
One of those guys.
Controversy on the sideline there, and a throw in for Willie Hunt of Pittsburgh.
But the crowd was happy because the ball went into the river, so we got a little bit of a cheer there.
And there goes Miro again, doing very well there, winning that ball back and then giving it away again at the end, but under tight circumstances. And here go DC down the middle of the park, and
again on the quick connection.
I thought that was
Aguilar creating space, edge of the 18. And this one is shanked from the outside by United.
This game goes from one end to the other. We just had a shot down there by Vincent, and we've come back down this end, and actually DC having another opportunity again and not capitalizing on that. Defenders did well there, holding that, blocking that ball out and making it difficult for him to get a shot off.
Connor Doyle was the one looking to send one in, but it went awry. Well struck goal kick from Callie Brown. Those long limbs of his, he can get plenty of leverage, and he did there, but DC took control momentarily. Right back to the Hounds, and it's Willie Hunt. Deep, too deep on the right flank. We're an hour in. This is about the time you start to think about substitutions usually. Not a hot night. It was supposed to rain this evening, but that's held off.
And
we finally get a little luck with the weather here, it seems.
Finally stopped raining for a day. But, Mark Steffens, the first time I think I've ever seen him get up, go to the sideline and get onto the players. Come on, let's pick it up, let's move it, and let's get on this. I think he feels that now's the opportunity, if we're going to strike, is to get a goal on these guys, and trying to get on his players to pick it up a little bit.
Mishu with Kerr running up his back. Mishu allows it to roll out, and that'll reset things for United. Speaking of subs, DC brought just 4. Taylor Kemp, the defender, Nick DeLeon, the midfielder, Chris Korb, defender who started at Orlando City on Sunday, and Travis Wara, the keeper. So really just three outfield players available to Ben Olsen.
Obviously thought that they wouldn't really need them, but again, they're on a tight schedule, and they've had a tough road trip to Orlando, getting back to DC, changing around and getting back to Pittsburgh. So, and they've had a real battle going on there. So obviously didn't bring as many players as they needed.
The Riverhounds have 6 outfield subs listed: Jeremy Raley, Seth Sidabaka, Anthony Vergara, Tyler Pasher, Drew Russell, and Boris Zavanovich. Ryan Hewlings is the backup keeper.
Yeah, I wonder, when Mark Steffens will look towards his bench, if at all. because our guys played Saturday too, and they had a road trip coming back from Charlotte.
Yeah, that's true too.
And who would be effective here? I mean, I'd like. Be interesting and get a guy like Tyler Passer with his pace, Paul. I mean, to get up and down, that could really change the dynamic a little bit of this game, and maybe catch him a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, really. That would be a good one, a good change, I think, Gino, because we know he can just fly. And when these guys get towards this 70th minute, they're starting to feel the fatigue a little bit. He would be a great guy to put in to go by them.
Yeah.
A scramble and a foul. Another one against the Hounds. I have them down for 4 in this half.
Again, dead ball situations. This is where GC's been pretty dangerous. And
this is Silva. It appears he will try the right foot.
Oh, that's a good
Here it
ball.
comes. Right on target. Steel Army loves it as Callie Brown handles it without any trouble. Rolls it out to Rob Vincent. The man from Liverpool, former University of Charleston star, gave it up on a poor ball, and it's Facundo Correa. The quick regroup for DC. Correa stepped over.
Good cover from Sterling Flunder that time.
Sterling Flunder again, covering up some ills, and Jalen Robinson can't believe that he has just been whistled here by the assistant referee. He's got a lot to say.
There it is again.
As does Luis Silva.
Yeah,
I think we missed it on the replay. I think he hit him before that, and Anthony Arena caught his heels at the end. But
Arena wins the protest. Callie Brown will have the kick.
Here you go. We're going to see it again.
First of all, Flunder.
You can see
this is where you see the player runs right into him. Like that.
Yeah,
shooting him off.
It's not shoulder to shoulder.
A good bump.
Yeah.
And it's called.
Good call by the linesman, lineswoman.
Referee assistant now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
Whatever she's called, she did well on that play. At any rate, the United regrouping.
When you're a referee, you're called a lot of things, right? So I'm sure she's used to it.
Yes, I think assistant referee would be certainly one of the nicer things that she has been called this evening. Throw in DC. Oh, and someone on the DC bench has been thrown out. Is it Ben Olsen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's been given the...
Wow, and of course the crowd is eating this up, especially right in front of us. And Olsen continues his tirade. He's going to get his money's worth.
Well, that's frustrating when you're a coach. I've had it done to me, Gino, and you have too. And
no, I had it. Well, that's another story.
Yeah, you had it done to you through me.
Through you, yeah.
When I was yelling at the referee for some bad calls, and
I threw the assistant out. I think Benny's good to go. Their assistant coach is walking out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's
Ben Olsen is done. He is gone.
No, Ben's still here.
I'm sorry.
The assistant's walking.
Oh, okay.
He's walking down there. He's at the far end.
All right, so Olsen was coming to the aid of one of his assistants. Didn't get the name, but that bit of controversy passes here in the 67th minute. Jairo Arrieta. Now Jalen Robinson off the feed from Miguel Aguilar.
But you know what that kind of thing does, Gino and Matt, is that kind of like hypes up your players, showing your coaches into it, and sometimes that really generates some energy, and it seems to have got them going a little bit here, but Hound's trying to absorb that right now. And Robbie getting that ball up into the clouds.
Well, it's always interesting.
Chad Ashton says the man ejected. Ashton and Amos McGee are two of Ben Olsen's assistants. Watch out, nearly a handball against Okioma. Correa with Okai riding him. Correa feeding it through. Here's Arrieta off his back foot, crosses, but easily grabbed by Callie Brown.
Yeah, Kelly Brown, anything in the air in there should be no problem for him, being the height he is. And
that's no problem for him.
No. And too close to him as well. That should have been cut back to the penalty spot, but he couldn't get around.
He needed a little
on
bit of roll back there to have anything come out, or a driven ball there, Paul, and he just lofted it in.
Yeah. Well done, Miro again.
But
Was
the
out
ball
of
was into
bounds.
touch, just barely. It goes back to DC. As we get closer to the 70th minute, it's a good time to remind you that the tie-breaking procedures will be in effect, for lack of a better term. We will play extra time, 30 minutes of it, if we are all square after 90. And then if things aren't decided after 120 total minutes, it'll be the penalty kick shootout. But still a ways to go until then.
Oh, great ball,
what a great
Robbie.
ball by Vincent on through to Kerr.
Miro.
He hooks up with Miro out wide. Miro Chibrillo 1v1 with Halsey. He has to pull it back out, does Chibrillo. Halsey with nice work.
Oh, nice
But
ball.
there's a
Chibrillo.
one hopper to Okai, and now further to the right flank. Willie Hunt, Mike Green, ball at his feet.
And Kerr with
Kerr,
the
the
ball,
cross,
first
it's
timer.
off the head of a DC player and on to Luke Mishu. Mishu couldn't clear, but United finding a way to get it out through, and Okioma with a mistake there, but he recovers with that good closing speed with Luis Silva right there lurking. And he serves one.
And that's Willie
Deep right
Hunt down there
sideline.
again.
Nodded
Really?
out for the throw-in.
Well done from Okiyama, man.
Riverhounds.
Yeah, almost got skinned there on the far side and recovered nicely and played a good ball into the corner.
Kerr back to the goal for Mike Green. Kerr was hit. He wanted a call, not going to
great
get it.
touch.
Green back to Okai, and just too far for him to take. The Hounds buzzing around the edge of the 18-yard box. So it's Pittsburgh's turn to push back. Sterling Flunder. Very much hand fighting with Miguel Aguilar, and the Hounds are awarded the throw-in. Vincent fake toward the middle, back up the touchline. Flunder. Sterling Flunder, the Washington State native, getting some run in this game.
Yeah, Sterling's had, I think, has had a solid game. He hasn't seen some time for a few weeks, and he's been very solid. You can see why Mark Steffens probably wanted him in there, just because he's going to give that experience and composure and keep it tied down in the back.
Silva
There's
over the
an
top.
opportunity.
Arietta running on. He bumped one of the Hounds. That's Arena. Whoa, what a
Well
play.
done.
What a play to control, roll over with the ball under him, and knock it out. But DC's not done. Aguilar across, and a sliding tackle.
Okiyama again. Well
again.
done.
Earls unable to clear. It's off the body of Silva. Action coming fast and furious. Okai gets in the way. Kerr. And now back to DC's Mishu.
A little bit of panic there.
Right
and
through Hunt. Coria, the cross from outside the area, headed clear by Arena, and the Hounds survive. And an appreciative hand comes up from the overflow crowd at Highmark Stadium.
I think that was a foul on Arena there in the box. He got pushed in the back, and there's a great ball there.
On for Silva. Couldn't get a lot on it.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get a chance to see that again, but I think Arena got a shove in the back and thought he was going to get a free kick, and then he got down and did very well trying to keep that ball from dropping to a decent
He
play.
did very well.
I am loving this responsive, appreciative soccer crowd. Soccer savvy, you can tell, even when the Hounds win a 50-50 ball, they're delivering the applause.
Yeah, still Army got the whole crowd going now. So it's a great atmosphere. Boy, I don't think we've seen an atmosphere like this since maybe the home opener of Highmark, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's been 3 years at least, and it's great to see this atmosphere.
Coria got a bad break. He was gaining steam up the center of the field, and he knocked that right off the backside of Connor Doyle.
Yeah, off his own player. That was lucky.
Coria won an Argentinian title in 2010, also experiencing the Mexican top league. He has been excellent in this game. DC's got depth, as United is showing this evening. But the Hounds going toe-to-toe. Fourth round U.S. Open Cup.
I'm playing head tennis at the moment, but
Back and forth it goes at the midfield line.
that's a good ball out wide there. And this player is pretty dangerous. Flounder got to be careful here.
Aguilar receives it. Flunder facing him up.
And Vincent giving him a little bit of help.
It comes back to the outside for Robinson off the body of Aguilar. Vincent with the right toe on it. Belts it well up into the atmosphere. Kofi Opare having some trouble. Mike Green went up hard, had an elbow in there, but no call. Play continues on with United in command. Aguilar stepping infield,
great
sliding tackle. Okioma, Fajiro Okioma.
Hounds need to regroup a little bit here, Gino. They're kind of like getting separated. We saw that last play. Defenders not getting up with the forwards and a big opening in the middle of the field, and DC picking it up again. DC putting a little bit of pressure on too now.
They really are.
5 minutes.
Aguilar has been very, very active, and
that's a great. If Kerr can get on the end of that, I think it's
ambitious ball, but nearly a connection. Diagonal on the switch. Okioma, strong right foot, but Kerr just 1 or 2 steps behind. 74th minute.
No, I think the Hounds back line, and Anthony Arenas, they don't want to get anything behind them, Paul. So it seems like they're a little bit reluctant really to step it up and squeeze the field.
Yeah, and it looks like Pasha's going to be coming on, Gino, which we talked about a little bit. I see it just warmed up, and he looks like he's getting ready to come in. And
that'll be a boost of energy for the Riverhounds.
Yeah. And it might be for Flounder, too, because, he hasn't been regular starter. So, his energy level is a
that's
little bit
normally
less.
his position. But the other thing I was thinking, too, is, would they...
that's a good
Green
point.
on through, a little too hard for
would they
Chabrilo to cut
substitute
off.
him in the midfield, keep the back four has been very solid. Do they want to make a change right now where they've been pretty solid back there?
Yeah, that's
maybe put him in the left mid and move Robbie Vincent in the middle.
Yeah, and let him do some runs.
For maybe a Stephen Okai or someone like that. So we'll see in a few minutes.
We've seen what the Riverhounds can do late in games. Previous home game, they scored to take a 1-0 lead. There's Okai with that signature flying kick. Also, the 6 second-half goals, as we talked about, 3 of those in stoppage time against Harrisburg City 2 weeks ago, 17 days ago, in fact, to be exact. But DC United can strike late, too. 11 of their 20 total goals this season in MLS have come from the 60th minute on.
Boy, they're lining up on this right side here. They're pushing guys forward.
Doyle.
And that's a great
Doyle on
ball.
a cross, and no one can get on the end
Second
of it, but
chance.
Aguilar saves. Aguilar back across the face of goal. Vincent on the spot. Robinson keeps it in the attacking third. Jalen Robinson. Connor Doyle, DC's number 30.
You got to step out.
Yeah,
Paul,
To the
this is
middle.
what we've been saying. It's so
Arietta
slow
served
coming
it,
out.
but no one there.
Yeah, it's too much. Before it was in midfield. Now it's in the back third. They got to step out there a little bit, and guys are receiving the ball.
Close players down. Yeah,
right there in the D. They got to get out of there a little bit quicker. Anthony Arena or G have to really pick them. Get them out of there.
Yeah,
So,
that's what it takes. It takes maybe the goalkeeper too, Gino. Hey, telling these guys, get up, push up, and get them out of that back, because there's 6 of them still staying in the edge of the box and giving DC.
Yeah, they're giving them room there in the box. They're staying on, probably about 12-yard line or something like that. So we'll see who's coming on. It's Tyler Pasher who's going to come out.
for Sterling Flunder.
Sterling Flunder will come off.
Yeah, I thought that's his position usually, Gino. And I think, as we said, Flounder probably floundering a little bit because he's a little bit tired. But
that's pretty clever.
A well-done pun from Paul Child.
I'm sorry, I have to get one in now and again.
Yeah,
That's a great opportunity.
A turnover. Green, he can't get there. Dykstra too quick, but getting back to Pasher, the 21-year-old from Elmira, Ontario. Previous pro action in Finland, also with the Lansing United. And on the Riverhound side, still so much soccer ahead of him in his career, but
he has
that burst of speed.
He's a terrific young prospect.
Great ball there.
Okay.
And another good ball.
Here he goes.
All the way across, along the ground, Pasher making the cut. Chabrilo has a go and missed.
One thing with Tyler Pasher, and I'm sure Mark Steffens or Josh Reif told him, is they remind him the score is 1-1.
Yeah, so, it is 1-1. Don't get carried away.
He's going to have to make sure.
Well, he'll need a couple of runs like that, Gino, to get warmed up, because that's what he does. And you're going to see this kid's going to be
That was
flying.
a very safe run there.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, with Chabrilo in full possession of that ball, not a ton of risk. And Chabrillo lined one up and tried to get his first goal off his foot this season. He has 2 off his head.
It was actually a decent shot too. He just
Vincent on the
arrived in
move.
ball.
An open man is Green. Has to collect and step away from the pressure. Here is that man, Tyler Pasher. The cross.
Looking for somebody, but
Knocked away by Kofi Opare. Earls upfield.
Going to take it himself.
Pasher
Avoiding the outside with
again with that
Silva, but
speed.
there is Pasher. Fresh legs and explosive legs to catch up. Brown plays racquetball with his opposing keeper. That's Andrew Dykstra.
Look at and DC United as well, having 4 players playing up, pushing up front now because we're letting them push us back here.
Korea
It's like
drawing the call against
Ivanovic
Pasher.
is going to come in for the Riverhounds, another second sub. So Mark Steffens.
Boris Zivanovic, who just missed scoring an equalizer late against Charlotte, even though the Hounds were down to 10 men with Danny Earls off on the intentional handball in the box. He was issued Pittsburgh's first red card of the season, but the Hounds nearly came back to tie it up. Throw in DC, and that call is disputed.
Great run there
There's
by
Miro.
Good job by
A
Green
good step.
getting back to and giving away there, but clearly getting it out of danger and easing off the pressure for a little while. But here they come again.
Marcus Holstein. Pasher leaping into the air to take it. Vincent. Play over his shoulder, and there is Miro Chabrillo once
That's
again.
a great ball.
Can Kerr catch up to this one? He does at the 18. Kevin Kerr, can he find a teammate?
He was looking for Vincent.
He
I'm
does
sure.
connect with a man in goal. That's Okai to Mike Green. Okai driving through, but the ball never got there. And a foul here on the
Willie
Hounds
Hunt.
once again. Willie Hunt, Pittsburgh's number 19. Here is Pittsburgh's number 18 coming in. Zivanovic for Okai. Okai usually a holding midfielder. Zivanovic more of an attacking player. So Zivanovic is on. The Riverhounds' second of 3 possible subs.
Well, looks like Robbie Vincent will move into the middle. And Zivanovic will go out here on the flank, which is sort of the call we said might have happened with Tyler Pasher, but he's going to go to left back. He goes to left back for Sterling Flunder.
There's a
Good
nice
job by
poke away
Willie
by
Hunt.
Willie Hunt. He's been very steady this season. The only Hounds defender, in fact, to play in every match, and he wasn't even part of the roster until late March. Watch out as Silva collects. Lays it on back. United pushing one forward. The header from Arrieta is off Anthony Arena, and there's Callie Brown to the edge of his area to snag it.
Smart play there by Cody Brown, just checking that out, knowing it wasn't going to go out, and could get out there and slow things down. So Vincent didn't have, or Pasha wouldn't be under pressure.
Yeah.
Jairo Arrieta gave that a cursory run toward Brown to force him to knock it up the near sideline, but it appeared he was looking that way anyway. Pasher's throw is off the head of Connor Doyle. United back in possession. In the middle of the field, Aguilar.
And players going forward now, pushing down from the back.
Luke Mishu, yes, the wing back, sprinting up, but United's Jeffrey didn't like the looks of things.
It looked like the Riverhounds are going to. Mark Steffens going to go with his 3rd substitution, which
Using them all here.
that's a bit. You know, it's 1-1 game. We could be
Zivanovic.
playing another half hour of extra time. That might be a bit risky, you know.
By contrast, United has not used a single one. We mentioned they just have 3 outfield players available. Doyle's pass right through Jairo Arrieta.
Yeah, Doyle's pass hurried because I think Pasha was putting so much pressure on him there, chasing him down. He kind of rushed his pass and didn't get the right amount of weight on it. But that's a nice ball out to Miro.
Miro on the move. Step over. Driving his way through. Loose ball. And plucked out and cleared away by United. And Arena gets the foul call. Korea holding the back of his head. And Arena, in a show of sportsmanship, helps Korea back to his feet.
I thought he backed into him, to be honest with you, and maybe a little bit.
I thought he had a hand
on his back or
on his
something.
back, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes Drew Russell for Chabrillo, and a well-earned rest for Miro Chabrillo. He has been excellent in this game. Here is Drew Russell.
Miro Chabrillo had an excellent game tonight.
He's had a very strong game, absolutely.
I'm sorry to see him come out because
De Leon coming on for DC United, very good player.
Yes.
And very dangerous player, very active player. So looks like he's coming on for Silva.
Nick De Leon, fourth year with DC after a prodigious college career at Louisville. Rookie of the Year finalist in MLS in 2012. This United team has quite a few of those players who have impressed in their first seasons over the past 5 or so.
Oh, Willie Hunt did well to get over
Using
that
some
play.
leverage. Oh, and a saving play by Danny Earls. Knocked right back in by United, and there's Callie Brown doing his job.
That's what you like to see with a goalkeeper of that size. He just comes out and demands it in that area.
And cleanly, too. Cut it cleanly and, no hesitation.
That's
Stutter step
ball
from Vincent, and Kerr is going to be whistled this time. He didn't get away with that one. He has a few words for the assistant referee. And the head referee, in fact.
So the Hounds going for it here, really, with
all the subs coming
all
in,
the subs,
definitely. Because you have 2 15-minute, and it's not sudden death. It's 2 15-minute overtime.
It's another half hour, and actually that happened last night in the Seattle-Portland game, where they had used their subs in overtime. They used their third sub in overtime, and Obafemi Martin went down and stretched it off, and they were down an extra man.
Oh, United looking for a through ball, and Nick De Leon was running untouched, but Pasher intercepted.
Man,
Jeffrey gave it
pass.
up. Dusk has fallen in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But who will the sun set on tonight? Will it be the Riverhounds of technically the third tier of U.S. soccer in the USL, or DC United of the top tier league, Major League Soccer? There's a man who has experience in both leagues, Andrew Dykstra, hammering it up the near sideline. De Leon had it played behind him, couldn't keep it in.
That ball was close. I thought it was still in a little bit, but the linesman obviously in much better position than me. But I never do usually agree with the linesman or a referee.
That's a trademark of yours, I'm discovering here. My first year in the booth with you.
Should have been on the sidelines with me a few years.
I'm sure it was much more free in terms of his choice of words. Here's Pasher. As he wants to get around to Robinson, did he win the corner? Yes.
I believe he did.
He did. That's what Tyler Pasher does very well.
You gotta that defender's got to be looking at him and wondering what the heck is going on here, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's a corner kick. And Rob Vincent will take it.
Hopefully we can get something out of this one and put it in the back of the net.
Vincent has a drink, water bottle there, conveniently at the corner. His foot into it, back post, and headed up into the air, and it wouldn't have counted anyway. A foul against the Hounds, and a card is out. A card issued. Is that Anthony Arena jogging back, shaking his head? It is. Arena carded in the 87th minute.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. Didn't see.
The referee must have thought it was a very obvious push, I would suppose. To issue a yellow in that situation is fairly rare. And there's Ivanovic, hip checked out of the way by De Leon, so the Riverhounds get the benefit of that call in the 87th, ticking toward the 88th. No goals in this second half. United was on top early. Facundo Coria, his first of the season in any competition. Luis Silva took that corner that
nice flick
set it all
on
into
there.
motion. Rob Vincent tied it on a PK in the 24th minute. Back post cross, Ivanovic muscling his way in, and they give a corner kick. It must have been off the head of one of the United players last.
This is the time.
I believe that's Robinson.
This is the time.
This is the time, Matt. If we can get put this
Second
in the
consecutive corner.
and with 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes left here, you know.
Vincent
Oh.
bending it. Russell wins.
Danny Earls.
Earls thought
Tried
about
to
it.
line it up, but
Played it square to Kerr. We've
it
seen
wouldn't
Earls
come
do that
down.
before.
Yeah, we have. That's what.
Vincent threw to Kerr on the overlap. Kevin Kerr, his cross,
Another
blocked
corner.
out. Third consecutive corner for Pittsburgh. 88th minute.
Yeah, I was waiting for Danny Earls to hit one of those long-range bombs that he's done before, you know.
He scored 2 of those this year,
Yeah.
and he didn't get quite the bounce that he needed
did
there.
not,
He kind
no.
of spun back towards him, but he's
Right.
caught a couple this season like that. And it,
I have this as the 5th corner for the Hounds in this half. It's cleared back for
Oh,
the
man.
first time drive by Kerr, and he missed to the left. And once again, the stands were shaking. The press box where we are was shaking.
yeah, this is Hound's got to win this ball and put some pressure on here in the last few minutes of the regular time, and I would think there's a couple of minutes extra.
Zivanovic appeared to get away with one there.
Not a lot, though. No injuries, couple substitutions, maybe 2, Paul, something.
Yeah, 2 minutes at
Yeah.
the most, I think.
One would imagine. And no goals, of course, in this half either. It was 1-1
Oh.
at the break.
Well done.
Vincent had it stripped by Coria, who can play at both ends clearly.
I play the ball.
Through ball to
Oh.
Doyle. Oh,
well
my.
done,
Anthony
Anthony
Arena
Arena.
saving play. Jairo Arrieta was wide open behind him.
And end to end again. We've just had 2 corner kicks down there.
Yeah.
We're back up in the Riverhounds end with DC playing, taking a corner kick, and again dangerous. So I hate to
90th
say that.
minute. Look out for Arrieta, the 4th-year MLS player, former Syracuse star, 5 goals, leads this squad, number 19. He has been dangerous in this game, as have several United forwards.
Oh, geez.
The low corner.
Wow, Willie
and
Hunt.
Willie Hunt. I thought he was knocked down. The play continues on.
I
He
think
just went down hard,
He dove out to get that one.
and he did just get enough on it.
Pasher, well done.
Coria will get the corner.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming close to the conclusion of 90 minutes.
And the fans letting them know that they don't like that one. But again, a dangerous situation.
United scored its only goal off a set piece, off a corner kick in the first half. They try again here. It's to the back post, or to that area at least. But Marcus Halsey unable to direct it on target. 3 minutes, somewhat surprised. A couple subs, as we mentioned.
A minimum of 3 minutes stoppage time at the end of the second half.
The Riverhounds have seen goals scored against them in stoppage time. They've scored a few themselves.
Yeah, this is going to be back and forth, and it's been a real entertaining game. It really has.
No, it really has. Like you said, I mean, a couple corners down this end and a few corners down here.
Here's a
You know,
nice one
all-
to Kerr.
Kerr with that right boot on it.
And
Cutting
looking
in
for-
field. There is Rob Vincent.
Robbie Vincent trying to
Wants to
line it
have a
up.
go. Vincent, can he do it? It's off to Kerr. He's offside.
Boy, he didn't hit that very well either, but
Boy, I thought Robbie was going to have a go there. And,
Me too.
And he played it to Kevin Kerr.
Must not have liked the shooting lane he saw ahead of him. It's tough for us to see exactly what's between the player and the goal from that angle.
Tonight's winning
And Kerr was
50-50
open, but in an
is
offside position.
6-7-6, 1-9.
At least 1 minute gone already out of 3 in injury time. Okioma heading it back out to the midfield area. Coria. Aguilar explosively
Oh, good
stepping
job.
by Hunt, but Aguilar got it back.
Oh,
Thought
well
it might have
done.
been
Well
out
done.
beyond the byline, but no, it was in, and the Hounds have to be very cautious to usher this one to safety, and they are.
oh, it's a foul.
Yeah.
That's a good
Foul
call
on
there.
DC. This will set up the Hounds with a free kick just behind the midfield line. We're in second half stoppage time. This is when Rob Vincent put the Hounds through to this
And he took
round
a quick one
against
for
Tampa
some
Bay.
reason.
Yes,
Yeah,
a bit hasty there, and
yeah. I don't think
Zivanovic
he-
was in the vicinity, but not quite close enough.
Oh, good battle. Oh,
There's
that's
a-
foul. And,
Dragged down by Arrieta, and
yeah.
yes, that's a pretty
Yeah.
obvious call, I
He was
thought.
going to
I
give him a
thought so, too.
card too.
That's what I thought too. Okay, there is the yellow.
unsportsmanlike conduct to the referee. I mean, you can't be yelling and slapping the ground like that, because you know they'll give you a card for.
Well, yeah, I don't. The card was for the foul either way, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
it was because he certainly had his hand on the shoulder and dragged him down.
A yellow card has been issued.
The first yellow to DC in this match. Sterling Thunder and Anthony Arena have them for the Riverhounds.
A little bit too long with that
long,
kick.
yeah.
Boy,
Yeah, this kick soars all the way through.
end to end, goalkeeper to keeper.
Ticking ever closer to extra time. Will we get there? Arrieta, 5 goals on the season. Tacoria has one tonight. Far side Aguilar again on that left flank. He and Willie Hunt go head to head. And there is pardon me,
Danny Earls.
Earls, yes,
Yeah,
the holding
terrific.
midfielder getting back.
Terrific cover from Danny Earls on
Yeah,
that
he did.
on that one to seal that cross off.
The
And,
Riverhounds had 3 straight corners at the other end. This is DC's 3rd consecutive.
they got to be strong here. This is the
Brown going up. It's over everyone's head and out.
this referee's letting this game go on. That should have been end of the game.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is.
That will be it. Extra time in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Benny Olsen's saying, "Wait a minute, that's not 3. We deserve another corner."
I think it was over 3 minutes, Gino.
I thought it
but,
was too.
you know,
Yeah, I didn't have a watch on it, but
A look from our net cam, which I love, by the way. Brown,
Callie Brown.
I think he did get a
I
fingertip
think
on
he
it.
got enough to get a fingertip on it just to put it over.
It was a
And
good
that's why
job.
United was protesting. They wanted that last corner.
Yeah,
That was a good job, because there was two DC players there giving everything they got to get on the end of that one. And if he hadn't got a finger on that, I think they would have been on it.
yeah,
in
for
the back
sure.
of the
Because
net.
again, they were dangerous on that far post. That's how they scored their goal, and they were really dangerous on that one.
So for the uninitiated, we will have at least 30 extra minutes, perhaps a penalty kick shootout, but for now we have 2 15-minute halves. The teams will exchange ends after 15 here in added extra time. 3 of these U.S. Open Cup games went to extra time last night, 3 out of the 9. 2 went to PKs. As the players for both teams get some refreshments. Well, guys, this is the second half. Yeah, we could use some as well if anyone is willing to bring them up. But the second half, not quite as frantic as the first half. Maybe some of that adrenaline wore off, but we still saw fairly even play up and down the field. I thought DC gained some strength for a while, but then the Hounds were buzzing around the goal as well on those corner kicks.
I think so far the midfield's been non-existent here in the second half. You know, it's been end to end and knocking it up and switching the point of attack and winning the second balls, winning the knockdowns, trying to get up from there, and it's been effective because both sides are creating chances.
No, definitely, and obviously the corner kicks too, Gino. I think it's been, I don't know what the count is, and we'll probably get those stats in a little while, but corner kicks have been pretty even, and both teams have looked definitely dangerous on every dead ball situation.
Right.
We just had an awesome look at Riverhounds head coach Mark Steffens, wide-eyed, laughing a little bit with his team, perhaps reminding them that, hey, they're the underdog in this situation, even though they are at home.
Yep.
They have everything to gain.
Yeah.
And this is a difficult spot for an MLS team to come into a visiting facility, a team below them in the American soccer pyramid. And, well, you know, the team below is going to have that extra bit of motivation. And it might take just a little bit extra in extra time to decide it.
Looks like there's a this guy Cobb. I think it's the 3rd substitution for DC.
Okay.
He's going to be coming in.
Yeah.
And
I believe just the second for DC, Chris
yeah.
Core.
oh, is it
Chris
only
Core,
2?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been saving his subs, and maybe wisely. You know, you're getting into those extra 30 minutes of extra time. Players are starting to really drag, and when it comes to penalty kick time, you need some energy, and maybe Ben Olsen's really thinking this one out and saving these guys to the last minute.
Yeah. You really see, like, Mark Steffens, the assistant coach, is really trying to go around, pick the guys up, say we're in this game, we can win this one, we can advance, and let's keep pushing it. They know they're in the game. They know they've had plenty of chances, and they know they can win the game. And I think they're very, very confident right now.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, this next goal is going to be a big one. If it comes early, then you've got a lot of time going on and a lot of, end-to-end play. And the pressure's going to be on at that time. But this early goal would really help. I think both of them big confidence to either team, actually.
The Riverhounds, in their 5th ever match against an MLS team, they lost to Chicago, Fire last year in a lightning-shortened game. Well, they're making up for it here because they're playing extra time against DC United. I mentioned this is the second matchup ever earlier with United for the Riverhounds. They lost in Germantown, Maryland, at the Maryland Soccer Complex 2-1 in 2003. Thiago Martins had the lone goal for the Riverhounds that day. And this is the second time that an MLS team has ever come into Pittsburgh. The Hounds dispatched Colorado Rapids 2-0 in 2001 to advance to the quarterfinals. And the quarterfinals are still the furthest that the Hounds have ever gotten in this tournament, although that was a smaller bracket back then. This would be the...
We remember that one well. Paul and I were on the side.
Yeah, I'm sure you do too.
And that was a win we totally deserved, if I remember that.
Oh,
one.
yes. I mean, we were totally all over Colorado and, definitely deserved it.
And that was down at Bethel Park High School Stadium, I believe.
Yes, it was.
The first home of the Riverhounds. And hoping that this is the longtime permanent home of this franchise, established in 1999. Russell angles it up the sideline. He got his foot around it. The Hounds will continue to attack toward the team offices, toward the Fort Pitt Bridge, the west end of the field, however you want to designate it. I'm Matt Geico with Paul Child and Gene Klein.
I'm wondering how many, if there's DC United fans, Matt, they're thinking, what the heck is a Fort Pitt Bridge, you know?
Well, if they've ever visited, it's the one you take when you come through the Fort Pitt tunnel from the airport.
There you go.
When you are arriving from the
That was a real quick throw.
It was, and it's Arrieta. And what do we have here? A corner kick DC. Although I guess if people from the DC area are coming to Pittsburgh, they're going to be coming through on the PA Turnpike, most likely from the east. So there you have it.
Yeah.
If you fly in, though, you know what the Fort Pitt Bridge is, most likely.
Yeah. It heads to the point. It heads to downtown, as they say.
We're in the shadow of it. There is Arena nodding it out. Yet another set-piece opportunity for United as the teams fatigue. Second minute of extra time. We'll play 30, at least.
And 2 corners right off the bat here. Dangerous situations, and there's a great ball.
Jared Jeffrey and a score for United. There is the defender, Kofi Opare, knocking it in just about 8 yards out.
Brilliant header, but he lost his marker somewhere, Paul.
Yeah, he was wide open, but you know what? I look at this, and it's 1 minute and 54 seconds into the game, so there's a lot of time here to change things around.
Here it is again.
Jared Jeffrey put it right on the head of Kofi Opare.
Nobody was marking him.
Because there were 2 guys there on 3 players.
And Opare, the 24-year-old native of Ghana,
he comes right
connecting
off Fajiro. Yeah, he came right off Okayama.
One of the few times we've seen Okayama lose his mark in this contest. Full marks, though, go to Jared Jeffrey, too, for the beautiful service.
Nah, that was right on the money, and he put it away.
No, and I've been saying it all night. That's where the situations has been dangerous all night long. And
they have, yep.
You know, hopefully the Hounds can get one and see what they can do with it. And
well, like you said,
they've come back before. Green driving wide.
A lot of time, and 27 minutes about to play, or 27, 28 minutes. So it's.
Well, it looks like most of the crowd, if not all the crowd, has stuck around through 90.
Definitely. For a Wednesday evening, and got to go to work tomorrow. I don't think anybody's going to leave here at all yet.
No, I mean the people standing. I mean they've been there for
just past 9 o'clock, not too late.
Yeah.
And I would imagine most kids are out of school by now, if not all. 50-50 ball won by United.
Flag
offside.
Up, flag up.
Arrieta. So it is Kofi Opare, his second goal of the season, a regular for United in MLS. This is 14th match. He's only missed 3 this year. Graduate of the University of Michigan, originally property of LA Galaxy.
Oh, well up there.
Tremendous work from Drew Russell, who has shown an affinity for that, to win possession.
Drew Russell, another guy that Mark Steffens is not afraid to utilize players in different positions and different spots. And
Yeah.
we've seen Russell in a number of different places in the back, midfield, and up front.
Green all the way across to Tyler Pasher. Hounds down a goal. Vincent
Great.
stepping through. Green. Oh, he wanted to let loose.
great turn,
Vincent
Robbie
with a
Vincent.
turn. Vincent saved by Dykstra. Oh, he had the whole net to stare at. And that was not where he wanted to put it.
Oh dear, that was a shame there, because I don't think he
good
could
as
get
can.
any power. He was right underneath him and he couldn't get as much power as he wanted to do there.
Yeah.
Side-footed it.
And hit it with his heel more than his side.
Yeah, what a little spin from Robbie, though. I mean, just getting out of
But here you
a
go
really
again.
tight situation and free, just like you said, just couldn't get enough behind the shot.
Slippery player, Rob Vincent.
And Dykstra again in good position.
Yes, Dykstra, one of the DC stars in this game. Made a stop on Kevin Kerr earlier. Also, Mike Green, perhaps the best chance for the Hounds outside of the PK. Offside United.
Yeah. It just shows you, though, this is, as we've said all night, it's gone from end to end, and both teams having a lot of chances here, and hopefully we can create a few more.
About 25 remaining in extra time. Brown spinning this one a bit, attempting to get some loft on it. Zivanovic, after the good fight, ends up with the ball. Funny how that happens sometimes. Hunt. Earls, who has MLS experience, a couple of different teams. Pasher, the youngster, the substitute, overtaken near the corner. Volleyed through by United, but
Well, good position.
Doyle couldn't connect.
From Fajiro there. I mean, really dropped off well to read that and had a good angle on the ball.
Oh,
what a drive
was a
by
dribble.
Okiyama on a line.
oh,
That's a
Russell takes a hit,
Yep.
gets the free kick.
got a good call there. You know, it could have been a bit of both. He
Yeah,
kind of.
I think it was that Aguilar on the foul. But
It appeared Corio was arguing
you're going to see it a
most
little bit better.
vociferously.
yeah,
No, you're right, it is Aguilar. Aguilar took a shot himself.
Yeah, I think
Big
so.
collision.
Looked like he was going for the
Is
ball.
this is Danny Earl's territory, whipping that thing in with the left foot.
Indeed, it will be Earls from Wicklow Town, Ireland.
Need to get a touch on this one.
Danny Earls.
Great serve.
The lefty back post! Hit it wide by Russell. He was there.
Oh, boy, he only had to head that back across the goal. I don't know why. He looked like he was trying to hit it into the near post, and he hit the post, actually, and he should have gone back to the other side. I think he had enough positioning to get that header
Yeah, I mean,
on.
I just if it just gets it or just gets it down, just off a little bit. I mean,
Served by
yeah,
Earls.
yeah,
and
I
yes,
know
it
what
is
you're saying
off
in
the
far
post.
He just couldn't.
Yeah, and I can't see
Seemed like
from
he
here.
seemed like he
Tried to
couldn't
squeeze
get
it
enough
through.
power to get it back across, Paul. But
Yeah,
if he gets it down a little bit,
it's in.
it's
Two
in.
excellent opportunities for the Riverhounds after United has gone ahead 2-1 in extra time.
Well,
This
we felt
match
all
keeps getting
along-
better and better.
Yeah, I mean, felt all along. A lot of time left, and the Hounds certainly are a confident group that they can score goals. And two great opportunities.
They often appear more confident late in these games, even though the legs may be burning at this point, and they surely are here in the 98th minute of this one. On the end of it, Arrieta. Jairo Arrieta, the cutback. Oh, they wanted a handball perhaps there on Okiyama, maybe a dangerous play, but they're not going to get either, are United.
That's an offside call, but I think he fell on that ball with his left arm, and they were looking for a penalty kick there if we get to see that one again. That was maybe accidental, but it didn't look good, and that's what they were complaining about, I think.
I think fortunate for the Hounds, it happened away from the assistant referee. Here's a long one. Russell got a foot on it. And the Riverhounds wanted a foul. Russell forcing Dykstra to pick it up. Andrew Dykstra, 5th appearance this season. Previous 4, he has a 1.37 goals against, 5 goals allowed on 24 shots on frame.
And he's had a very good match today, I think. I mean, he's been very solid in the goal, very clean. Maybe came up big a couple times when he had to, and has directed his defense extremely well.
He hasn't gotten many opportunities in MLS play, with Bill Hamid 2nd in MLS in goals against among qualifying keepers.
Yeah, and Bill Hamid is, academy product from DC United. And
Oh, that's a great
Green on
offside.
through, the flag is up.
And right up there in the national team picture. So it's unfortunate for Dykstra to be behind Hamid, who's a young kid, and like I said, come up through the academy system. But he's been getting a lot of looks with the national team.
Yeah.
And maybe down the road, Bill Hamid could be the man for DC with how much longer Timmy Howard is going to go, and we still got Brad Guzan, but Bill Hamid's in the picture, so he's an outstanding goalkeeper.
Yeah.
5th year with DC, and Hamid has 1 cap with the national team. Off the loose ball, the Riverhounds have command. Green, though, an errant right foot throw in United. And Kerr hands it along to Chris Korb, the substitute. Also a 5th-year United player. All Mac at Akron. Chris Korb, the back. Here's a cross from Doyle. Headed out of danger.
And United not really in any rush here. They're just trying to let this game go by and into the last 5 minutes of the first half. So going to waste as much time as they can and take as much time as they can.
We're 100 minutes into this one. Terrific step. Aguilar
well
back
done.
through to the middle
Well done,
for
Anthony
Arrieta.
Arena.
Arena
Well
covering up. Anthony Arena, original property of the Houston Dynamo. Speaking of MLS, and the Hounds had that player affiliation, player development agreement with Dynamo last year. That brought Arena to town, and he entrenched himself as one of the Riverhounds' more reliable players, especially on that back line. After the call against DC, it's Callie Brown, right foot into it. The Hounds continue to try this deep ball to put some pressure, make these DC backs run.
That's a nice move there.
Nick DeLeon.
DeLeon, yeah, very good ball.
Offside. I thought it was.
DC Arrieta this time. Play gets a little sloppy here, as sometimes happens at this stage.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that DC is not trying to keep it a little bit more, Paul, with that lead and sort of manage the game a little bit better as opposed to trying. Looks like they're looking for the 3rd one,
Yeah, sure.
They're playing
A bit reckless.
well, there's still a lot of end-to-end action is what we've seen, which the Hounds will take that any day right now.
Yeah, sure. There's Kerr with
Vincent knocks it deep to Kerr. Not a good touch.
No, that's very unfamiliar for Kerr, but there's a...
This will stay in. Earls on the battle with Doyle. And Brown just at the arc.
That's a great ball.
Good ball
Brown.
from Callie Brown.
Drills it low. Ivanovic couldn't control. 13th minute of extra time. At the 15-minute mark, we will switch ends, barring any added time to the first half of this extra session.
I don't think there's been very much, to be honest with you.
The goal for DC may add a minute. I'm not quite sure. It's tough to tell at this stage of the game until we see the sign go up from the 4th official. This play's allowed to continue, by the way.
Yeah. Too stretched out.
Speaking
right
of
now.
officials. And yes, some space
That's a
here
great
for a
move.
run by Aguilar. Crossing for Arrieta. Arrieta's got it back. All the way across to Leon. 3-1 DC.
Arena there just slowly jogging out there. He had to go out there. Somebody had to close the player down, but leaving a player open in the middle, that was a gift right there.
Yeah, they beat us out wide before going by for 0, and then we're able to get that serve across. And
Aguilar and Arrieta teamed up to cause the first bit of danger, and that's a very quality finish from Nick DeLeon.
And he's coming through from the midfield. No one is tracking him.
Nobody,
Arrieta on the assist.
Players getting tired.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Arena got
to get out there.
You got to get out there
and stop him from crossing the ball. Yeah,
not just kind of stand there with your hands
behind your back.
Yeah, you got to get out there, and I know that, but I know they're a bit beaten, knackered. That's long game, but that's going to make it difficult for the Hounds to come back from this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we've seen them do it, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Here's a bit of sloppiness at the DEC back line, but Halstead makes sure that doesn't lead to anything. It's Pasher stepping back after pressing forward.
There's a switch. Oh, I thought
Earls,
Willie
Vincent thought of it, but now hangs on. Rob Vincent threading the needle. It's Hunt. Hunt right at the byline. It's in. Still in play. Earls, Vincent. Can the Hounds get one back before the end of the first half of extra time? That one's dumped away by Vincent, and the Hounds have to chase. It's Okiyoma. A 103rd minute strike. 103 is the time of the DeLeon goal. This is the Riverhounds' first foray into extra time this season, and the whistle sounds right at the 15-minute mark. We'll switch ends. Polite hand from the crowd here, but they know their Hounds are in a difficult spot to be kind, down by a deuce.
Yeah, that was a real tough one to concede. DeLeon did very well to come through there.
You can see why he's smiling.
Yeah, but we had some opportunities, I think, Paul, to really break that play up earlier. You know, they broke through us in the open field, but we didn't really get back enough, and it's what we had seen before. Is we're losing that connection between our midfields and our back four, and of course he came slicing right through the midfield, and we've lost a little bit of that continuity and that shape a little bit.
Yeah, really, you're right there, Gino, and you know, we're into the 15 minutes of extra time. These guys are getting tired, and you can see it. You can see that lack of just sharpness getting and closing players down, like we saw there with Arena.
Yeah, Arena
getting out there was kind of like nonchalantly jogging out there, and you got to really get out there and make it difficult for the player to get a good, perfect crossing like you did.
Yeah, and I mean, he's had a very strong game up to that point. He's broken up a lot of great players. I mean, so
yeah, it's a shame.
But he didn't get out, and of course we didn't get back either to track that player down.
No.
But I think in this second 15,
all we got to do is score early on.
If we get it early on, and it's
a different game.
It's a different game. It's Harrisburg and stoppage time.
We have seen it before, especially here at home for the Riverhounds, where they have lost just once in 9 matches. 5-1-3 is the record. 5 wins, 3 draws to go with that singular loss at the moment to the Rochester Rhinos in early April, and even that one was controversial. The Rhinos are unbeaten and at the top of USL, but at the same time, that deciding goal they had here at Highmark, very dubious. Referee's call allowing play to go on, and avid Hounds fans will definitely recall that one, not want to relive that at the moment.
No.
So here's Aguilar. Losing it, but for good reason. He was fouled.
And you can see the DC team right now, very confident, very strong, knocking the ball really crisp, quick free kicks, not rushing things, and making this ball do the work here.
Chris Korb spinning it through to the middle. Kevin Kerr for the Hounds. Willie Hunt off the foot of DeLeon, the second goal scorer in extra time. It was Opare in the 2nd minute of extra time, DeLeon in the 13th to put DC ahead by 2. That's the score you see on your screen right now. Kevin Kerr trying to do something about that. Stops it up in the corner.
Great
Kevin
cross.
Kerr, the cross. And
boy.
back to get it, Luke Mishu for DC. Corner kick for the Hounds. This is the time to push, obviously.
And
Goes without saying here.
again, we've looked dangerous and hit the post this first Russell before, and hopefully
Earl's a
good
low
flip.
one, headed over
Willie
the
Hunt.
top by Willie Hunt. Near post run.
And as I said, this is where DC smartly just take as much time as they possibly can, especially with goal kicks, and
Right.
anytime they can waste a little bit more time to get this 15 minutes over with, they're going to.
So goal kick for Andrew Dykstra out of Virginia Commonwealth University. Aguilar on the end of it after some jostling. Aguilar right along the artificial surface, skids into the palms of Callie Brown of the University of Virginia. Two collegiate keepers in this one, going head to head. And Dykstra's squad has the commanding edge in extra time. Second half of it now. The Riverhounds have about 12 and a half minutes to get 2 goals and not allow any more, clearly. Vincent, Pasher
Oh, and
to the center, off of Halstey's skull. Zivanovic pressuring. Willie Hunt will corral it. Zivanovic, look at that back heel for Hunt. Can the Hounds make something of it? DC recovers. It's Willie Hunt. Rob Vincent, the goal scorer in this game, couldn't punch it through to Hunt, who was making a run.
Yeah, he was trying to slip it between the two players there to get on the end of it, and Hunt's done very well tonight getting down that line and trying to get crosses in, but another throw-in coming up.
Zivanovic takes 2 in a row. This one he tosses backward to Vincent.
Oh,
Hunt dispossessed by
got away
Doyle.
there. Yeah.
Doyle to Arrieta, back to Doyle.
Oh.
A soft feed, and Earl's got in the way, but couldn't keep the ball. And there's Jared Jeffrey, who assisted on the tie-breaking goal in this extra time. It stays in with Pasher.
Actually trying to let
Battling.
that Borg run out and hold the player off, but some way stayed in.
And the Riverhounds have to find the energy here.
Oh,
Kerr tripped up a bit on the pass from Drew Russell. Russell hit the post in this extra time. Would have tied it at 2. Also, Rob Vincent had a glorious opportunity as he wriggled through the DC defenders, but he couldn't place it in for his second goal of the evening. And after those 2 misses, the Hounds fell further behind. Callie Brown,
long ball flick
Booting
on
it.
here to Pasha.
right side. There is Tyler Pasher. The aggressive wingback to Earls. Leans back to send in Kerr. A physical confrontation, a big bump between Kerr and Halstey. And the ball went right on through to Dykstra.
Yeah, DC United now managing the game a little bit. I think
Yes.
Ben Olsen at the interval for the second extra time said, "Look, let's slow this down a little bit.
Don't be in any.
Don't be in any hurry for anything. Let's rush. Don't rush it." And here they are. Just let's possess it and keep it as we can, and as we see the other home there, take it to the corner and keep it down there. So they're everything. The pace is slowed down considerably here in this last few minutes.
Yep.
Ben Olsen still short of 40 years old. Already, I mentioned Coach of the Year in MLS last season. A U.S. Open Cup champion as a coach and a player.
Throw into the Hounds, I think it is. We can
It will
tough to
be.
see down here, but
Olsen said after Sunday's 1-0 loss in Orlando City, he wanted his team to be more cutthroat in the final third. They have been here in extra time with 2 headed strikes. So here are the Hounds attempting to answer. It's Mike Green, the Ohioan. Drew Russell, native of Iowa. Russell running through. Well, that was a needless foul, wasn't it?
boy, that was ridiculous.
And it will result in a
Yeah.
caution. I'm not sure what the point of that was, but at any rate, Chris Korb
but we'll take it.
Just knocked down Drew Russell, and this will set up a big chance for the Hounds to get a second goal.
Yeah, just get a little push from behind. The ball's going. That's just not very smart.
No, it isn't, and I'm sure Benny would be telling him that.
Yeah.
After the game, and he doesn't agree with it, but he's a player's player, so.
It shall be Earls, just 1 foot outside the penalty area. Imagine if that had been in the penalty area, but it still leads to a dangerous chance.
No, he can whip it in from here.
For Earls.
And he tries.
Here's the crack. Oh, the header goes over the crossbar from Zivanovic, who is calling for a corner, and he'll get it. It was not off Zivanovic last. Perhaps that was headed on frame if one of the United defenders didn't get in the way.
Got to time those runs a little bit better, Gino. Slow it down. It's 3 or 4 yards past the post, and difficult to get a real good flick on that.
The corner kick from Robbie Vincent. Back post, and again it's Zivanovic on the end of it, and again it's off a United player, and again it's a corner kick.
Yeah, Dykstra got knocked over there.
Yes, he was bowled to the pitch.
And he's still.
And look, he's still laying down there. He's wasting time. I mean, this is.
And he may get a caution.
That'll get the still
As you can hear.
It will. It doesn't appear that Dykstra is injured. He is up after a chat with the head referee. So here we go. As you can predict, the crowd just loves that maneuver from Dykstra. We've seen it before. We'll see it again.
They're going to get excited if this ball goes in the back of the net, too.
They will indeed. From Earls, it's free. Look at that play from Russell. Open man there. Saved by Dykstra on Kerr. Kevin Kerr's had a couple of looks. None better than that.
Again, he couldn't get enough on it. You know, he's had a couple of chances like that.
And Dykstra's racking up the saves. He's got to be getting close to 10. Of course, you allow for extra time, but still an impressive total that he has had.
Boy.
A foul is called here, just inside the touchline. About 6.5 minutes to go. And that last flurry for the Hounds may have been it for them, down by 2.
Yeah, they needed a goal pretty quick.
Yeah, that would have helped.
That was offside, and here we go with a.
Yeah, if Kevin could put that away.
Yep, different story.
It would have been very interesting.
Very.
That would have been like an
interesting
injection
last
of
5-6
energy.
minutes. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And at this stage, after nearly 2 full hours of play, that's exactly what the Riverhounds need, is another adrenaline injection, as they got early on from this crowd, which is ready to go from the opening kick.
Oh, well done, Kevin.
Kerr couldn't get around Korb, who this time avoids the whistle.
Yeah, he did well there.
But Aguilar overtaken by 2 Hounds, and then Aguilar trips down Boris Zivanovic, the Serbian native. And it's Earls, the Irishman, putting it down.
In a dangerous situation. We've got to capitalize on it if we're going to do anything right now. This is it.
Just about 5 minutes to go.
Danny Earls can hit these in-swingers.
Desperation time for Pittsburgh, the home team tonight in U.S. Open Cup.
Oh,
here it comes, but too much on it, and Earls knew it immediately.
Yep.
As he looks down and now jogs back to his position. Boy, Arrieta was calling for that ball. He's
getting
perhaps a little frustrated. He does get it eventually. Attempting to step away from Earls, who's the last man back. Arrieta, the cutback, the drop-off for Doyle's drive that was blocked, and then his rebound was blocked too. Corner kick DC.
Hans looked a little spent out there. They really were slow getting back. Danny Earls had to get way back to recover.
Yep.
Ragged defending, and for good reason.
Yeah, definitely really tired here and trying to run back 80 yards from the one end. And
well, they'll have time now as DC will milk some clock. The Riverhounds will be back in action in USL play against Montreal this Saturday, 7 o'clock. There's a smooth takeaway. I thought it was from Vincent, and he ends up on the positive end of that referee's decision. But players coming together. Vincent talking with DeLeon and Doyle. Arena comes to his defense. And the yellow card is out.
Yeah, he's giving him a yellow card. And he's
For
wasting more and more
a
time.
DC player who has lost his shoe. Haven't gotten the number yet. It's in that far corner, the dark corner here at Highmark Stadium. Kelly Brown hustling up. He wants to put this one back upfield. So another yellow to DC. Suddenly, after the Hounds took the first two, United has the last three in terms of caution. Earls to Tyler Pasher. Pasher looks upfield. Earls overlapping. The header from Russell, and again Russell is there. The 6'1" back who plays up as well. Aguilar was the recipient of the yellow card, by the way, for DC. 28th minute of extra time. So we're at 118 total. A marathon game at Highmark Stadium. The first ever visit from an MLS team, and that MLS team is on the verge of advancing to the round of 16 in U.S. Open Cup. Arena, left-footed to Russell. Crowd has quieted a bit, perhaps realizing that
time's running out.
yes, there is very little time left, and urging their team on, though. Arena just over the midfield line. A lofted ball for Willie Hunt. The Hounds just trying to set up some sort of a cross here, it appears. Now they'll try a through ball. And Green's pass for Hunt was intercepted. Doyle. Open field for Arrieta. Jairo Arrieta, 5 goals on the season in MLS play, plus an assist. Arrieta has an assist tonight on the De Leon goal that, for all intents and purposes, put this one away at 3-1. A minute and a half remaining. We may see some stoppage in this second half, though, with some of the delays that DC has brought up.
Probably 2 minutes, I would imagine, at least.
Yeah. Oh, tough one there from Robbie. But
Volleyed through from Vincent to Earls. The two British Isles teammates connect. They've been on the Hounds for a couple of years together here. Russell on the chase against Luke Michoud. Russell
did well.
Taking it, and it's Pasher.
Good ball.
Bending it across the face of goal. Zivanovic not there in time. Loose in the area. Pumped out of trouble by Kofi Opare, who is in line to end up with the game winner, the decider in this one. Heading in, a corner kick from Jared Jeffrey.
Oy.
Ball's a bit behind Zivanovic. He tried to recover. Earls is down. Vincent has it. Rob Vincent. Green. Earls well wide. And that may have been it.
Desperation play kind of there, yep.
And you wonder if this Pittsburgh crowd will have enough left in the tank to salute their Hounds for a game effort, taking MLS DC United to extra time. And we do start to sense that. I was just a little bit ahead of the wave, I guess.
There will be a minimum of 1 minute.
1 minute stoppage,
At the end of
minimum,
second overtime
as our
period.
PA man
1 minute
announces.
stoppage time.
Arrieta
Many have
forced
stayed. Not a
to
lot
the
of left
sideline.
here. You still, most of the crowd has stayed. It's been a great night.
No, it really has, and I think they really appreciate these boys working as they have, and they're going to wait until.
Vincent, deep ball. Kerr is onside. Kevin Kerr. Well, can we have one more crowd-pleasing moment here at Highmark Stadium before the lights turn out? Kerr to the middle. Vincent fake to the outside. Doubles back to the inside. Knocks it on back to Anthony Arena. Tyler Pasher. Stepping over. Pasher. Right-footed this time. You don't see that too often from him. And he missed the top corner. And here it comes, impressively, a standing ovation. And although the Riverhounds are not going to come out on top tonight, the crowd loved the effort.
What an ovation from
yeah.
that crowd. That's terrific. I mean, the game hasn't even ended yet. And there it is right there.
Play has been called.
What an ovation.
Final. DC United 3, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 1. The Hounds are eliminated from U.S. Open Cup competition, and they are gutted. As you can see, Kevin Kerr down, facing the pitch. Same with Danny Earls, Tyler Pasher, Rob Vincent, as the two teams will come together for handshakes. Guys, what a night for soccer. It doesn't come to a positive end for the home side, but just on the razor's edge were the Hounds of getting that decisive moment, or maybe even tying it up here in extra time, but it did not happen for them.
No, and it was a great game. It was entertaining. I think everybody, as you can see, hardly there's not many people left here tonight, and they could have left after the first extra time period, but they're still here. Standing ovation. You couldn't want more, Gino, for a player to have that happen to.
No, we didn't get the result obviously the Riverhounds wanted, but it's an absolutely positive night for soccer in Pittsburgh, and it shows you that there's a lot of people out there that love the game and want to see good level of soccer, and I think what the Riverhounds have done, they're going to bring these guys back for the remainder of the year. These people back, and many people here, I'm sure, that were here for the first time, will say, "Wow, this is entertaining stuff. These guys can play. I want to see some more of this."
Exactly, and I think that's the biggest part of it. Half of these people are going to come back. They enjoyed it. They applauded the players afterwards. You're definitely going to see a lot of them back.
That was
Let's go to those highlights, by the way, while we have the opportunity.
terrific to see that applause. I mean, standing ovation in the last seconds of the game. So that was just wonderful to see.
This is extra
This is the goal
time.
Yep.
The header from Kofi Opare that put DC up 2-1. The Hounds losing their mark in the box. Jared Jeffrey with the corner.
There's a chance to tie from Robbie Vincent.
The first opportunity, look at him navigate his way through, and oh my. Just left wanting at the finishing end.
Yeah, that was a
Yep.
great opportunity too, and well defended again, cleared away.
And I think
This will be the third goal.
Yep.
Yes.
There goes. The one just went right by. I think it was Robbie actually, Vincent, and let him go.
Got to close them down.
Close him down there. But there he goes. So a couple. Yeah, Danny Earls was looking at Robbie Vincent. And
Just out of steam, it appeared.
Yeah.
Near miss there.
Totally out of steam.
And another one
yes.
coming up. This ends up on the foot of Kerr. It was just at an awkward height, about shoulder height for him.
That would have been the changing point right there if we could have got that one in the back of the net, because then it would have been really an opportunity to come back.
Yeah.
And here we go all the way back to the beginning. This was a long time ago now, but
Yeah.
Facundo Coria.
That was daylight then.
Yes, it was. That's how you can tell. That was back in the 6th minute, I believe. Opening handful of
Here's the
minutes. That's when
PK.
DC took advantage. But the Hounds struck back. Kevin Kerr. And, well, there was Kofi Opare again. Boy, was he all over the action tonight. This time he is called for the foul in the box. Rob Vincent, expert finish. It was 1-1 at that time. And that's the score that was carried into halftime. In the second half, no goals on the board for the Hounds. One more look at Vincent, who has a bit of a quirky run up to that, not wanting to betray which side he wants to pick out. Went a little bit to his left. I thought he drove it right down the middle on first glance, but not there. That was the real culmination of the building emotion in the first half, but that was the only goal for the Riverhounds. Final thoughts, gentlemen, on what was a defeat on the field for the Hounds, but I think a victory for soccer in Pittsburgh.
Oh, I think it's a tremendous victory for soccer in Pittsburgh. A lot of people came tonight and enjoyed a really exciting game for the first 90 minutes and even all the way through. As you could tell, they definitely enjoyed it. When you get a standing ovation, before the game's even ended, a lot of people would have started walking out after the 3-1 victory, but after the third goal. But then you see them still standing around and applauding. Fantastic. We'll see a lot of them back.
Yeah, and I think what they saw tonight was some very entertaining, skillful soccer on the part of the Riverhounds and, of course, DC United. It was a quality game. I mean, certainly as the game got a little bit longer, there was some periods where it got a little bit edgy and rough, but but we saw some very entertaining chances, and both teams willing to go for it and wanted to go for the win. Nothing boring about tonight's game, Paul.
No, exciting game.
It really was, and it's almost as if the players don't want to leave the field. They really, I'm sure, enjoyed competing, the Riverhounds that is, with a team from the top league in America, MLS. DC will be on to play an opponent to be determined tomorrow. As for the Hounds, as we said, late in extra time, they'll be back in USL action, seeking to improve upon a 4-4-4 record and continue their unbeaten run here at home. They will host Montreal Saturday, 7 o'clock. We hope to have you here at the stadium, but if not, you can watch on riverhounds.com and youtube.com/USL. Thank you so much for watching tonight. We hope you enjoyed it, whether you're a DC supporter, a Pittsburgh supporter, or somewhere in between there. We enjoyed calling it. For Paul Child and Gene Klein, also Chris DeVivo and John Powell and their excellent crew putting on another professional broadcast here. I'm Matt Geika. Here are your upcoming events: the SFC Montreal and Rochester Rhinos on the road, and then back home on July 4th to face the New York Red Bulls to their second collision with that MLS Reserve club. Once again, I'm Matt Geika for Paul and Gene, wishing you a very pleasant good evening from Pittsburgh.
Good night.